Let's go. Drew.
Yeah, buddy.
Hey, pull up the, let's get right into it. Let's pull up the first video. What we're going to do today, guys, is walk right through Andy Stumpf's episode and basically walk right through what it is he said. And I will give you my opinion of it at times, and then I'll tell you what really happened at times. Let's go, Drew.
All right, let me know if it's not the right spot. Here we go.
The Anti-Hero Podcast. And what went down is basically them calling me in a very, very hateful tone a fraud.
Very, very hateful.
And a liar for 2 straight years. And they've been making a living off of it.
For 2 straight years.
They've been making a living off of calling out veterans.
Okay.
And they've done it to me. I think I was first.
Yeah.
And I did respond back when I was drinking heavly.
All right.
Shouldn't have responded the way that I did.
Just real quick. We haven't gotten that far into it, and I have to address this. I know Rob wants to think that he lives rent-free in our heads. We did 1 podcast on him, and I've been pretty consistent on this about I keep things private, but when you go to this extent, I have to tell more. I actually absolutely reached out to him, and this will come into play later. And he has my personal number, at least he used to. And I said, "Hey, Rob, call me." This was before we did an episode on him. This was just when that short was put out. And the only thing he would ever say to me is, "Hey, you're just jealous that you're not rich and famous." And I would say, "Rob, this isn't about that. This isn't about that. Here's my phone number. You're more than willing to call me. This is about the truth." And he would only do it at like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and that's all he'd ever tell me is that I'm jealous that I'm not rich and famous. Of course, he eventually blocked me, and when you block someone, it erases those messages. But he absolutely had the chance to talk to me and chose not to. For him to say that we've been making a living off of him for years. That couldn't be any less true. In fact, we're doing an episode now because of you, Rob. I've only done rebuttal things to you. I could have, if I was just in it for clicks, I could have done just a whole new episode on him on my own channel. I didn't because it's already out there and the truth is already out there. The first time I talked about him was in our very first episode, but that was because you called me an asshat, and then you went on your podcast and you tried to get my former co-host's personal problems, and you were trying to smear that on me. And so I came out and gave rebuttal to that. So it's just odd to me that he paints himself as the victim and he paints himself as he's being attacked by us. Rob, now this is the second time. The only time I even bring you up is when you insert yourself, which you clearly have no problem inserting yourself. And when he says we do it in the most vile way, Drew, bring up the YouTube video, the very first one, and he calls us vile and malicious. The very first one, Drew. And let's see how vile and malicious I am.
All right, hopefully this plays right because they're saying there's a little bit of an echo. Let's see.
Commenting that I'm pretty sure he's come out publicly and said that. So you can just Google that or go ask him. He's not hard to find.
All right. So we're going to move into who says different, who has publicly came out and at least said about Rob's story.
Well, there's one thing I want to do before we get into it. I want to delineate, what I'm doing here and what I'm trying to say about Rob. Rob is an American war hero. I'm not taking that away from Rob. Rob has 2 silver stars. One from the raid from UBL.
No echo,
silver
yes.
star for shooting UBL. Everyone on that. It was a mission award that everyone got, and rightfully so. But his truly valorous silver star, anytime that silver star gets brought up in some sort of conversation, every guy says he was a hero that day. He was badass. He earned that silver star. He served his country honorably as a White Side SEAL member.
I'm so vile.
He served his country honorably as a Tier 1 operator, which is an amazing feat that should never be taken away from him.
Brent, that was so
I
mean.
do not have a problem with. I'm not saying he was dishonest in this one piece of one mission the guy was on, and 399 missions of everything else that he's done is crap. And I just want to make that absolutely clear.
Okay, it's
pretty clear, Brent.
All right, it's pretty clear.
Personal.
If not everyone has seen the beginning of this and how it started, that's how I maliciously started this campaign of truth. But the truth does matter, and that's how I started it. So just want to remind everyone what happened. Drew, let's continue playing the episode on the Andy Stumpf podcast.
What was the response?
No, just I
didn't see it.
It was
Now I'm
something
curious.
along the line. I think it was something along the lines of, "I don't even know you, bro."
Yeah.
Something like that, and then whatever back and forth. But they've been at it after me, and whenever they use my name, the clicks go up. And then they did it to Tim Kennedy. They did it to Jocko. They did it to Chris Kyle, God rest his soul. They did it to Marcus Luttrell. They did it to, I think they did it to Dakota.
No.
And whether this Tucker guy
okay.
likes it or not.
We just started, and he just can't be completely honest. I was not vile to him. He's not honest about the messages that he sent me, and he's not honest about who we went after. I did a podcast on Rob O'Neill. I did a podcast on Tim Kennedy, and I did a podcast on John McPhee. Those are the three people I've done a podcast on. And I stand by every single one of them and everything I said. He wants to bring up Chris Kyle. I never did a podcast on Chris Kyle. He wants to bring up Jocko. I've never done a podcast on Jocko. He wants to bring up Marcus Luttrell. I have never done a podcast on Marcus Luttrell, but there was a Navy SEAL that came on our show and wanted to talk about that. That's not my expose podcast. If someone else wants to talk about things, they're more than welcome to. By the way, as time has gone on, he ended up being right when he said things like the Navy even wrote his book for him. Guess what? Not too long ago, he came out and admitted that. There are a lot of things he ended up being right about. So you can be upset that a fellow Navy SEAL said that, but I didn't do that. Another Navy SEAL said those things. Dakota Meyer. I've never done a podcast on Dakota Meyer. In fact, quite the opposite. There are people that question his story. People have asked me to look into it, and I said, he's a Medal of Honor winner. I'm not looking into it. And primarily, and this I've always been consistent about this, not because it's the truth or Medal of Honor winners are above the truth, but you don't put yourself in for a Medal of Honor. Someone else puts you in for a Medal of Honor. So that is very different than Rob and Tim and John McPhee. You guys wanted the fame. You guys wanted so desperately everything you got, and then you got it. And then when the truth came out, you're upset that people call you out about it. So again, Rob just can't even be honest. So it just started, and he's not being honest. I don't know if it'll get better from here, but let's see what else he has to say.
Will be known as the guy who made money off of trying to ruin veterans' lives.
So let's parse this here for a second, because I'm curious. What are your thoughts on, or should there be, the ability to call other veterans out?
Well, yeah, but not that way. I think a phone call.
Oh, what way?
Yeah, no, so that's what I'm saying. But
A phone call.
A phone call?
Let's talk about the phone call.
Like the time I gave you my number and you never called me? Is that how you want it to go, Rob? And by the way, you said I will only be known for the guy who tried to ruin other veterans. And that's just not true. That's not what I do. How pathetic of a human being would I be if I knew Rob's story was correct, if I knew Tim Kennedy's story was correct, and I was like, you know what? They're telling the truth, but I just need clicks and views so bad. I don't care. I'm going to ruin their life.
That sounds like you, Brent. No, I mean, that doesn't sound like you, Brent.
How many other podcasts
what the
does
heck?
he do?
Right. But
he doesn't go back to the other stuff that you did, your work of art.
yeah, it's just, you want to talk about defamation? That's pretty defaming. But don't worry, Rob, I'm not going to sue you. But that's not who I am. That is not who I am. I've been 100% in everything I've said. And by the end of this one, if most people already believe it, go to the comment section of the Andy Stumpf podcast. It is brutal. And these aren't my people, so to speak. Andy Stumpf is a even keel guy.
Yeah.
And by the end of this episode, we might have some fun at the end. We might go through some of the comments. He is absolutely getting hammered in the episode. So no, Rob, I know you want that to be who I am, but because I've been right, you will be remembered as the guy who tried to make money off of someone else's heroism.
But for me to chime in for just a second, what chaps my height on this is how he says that, every time, the anti-hero used his name, they were making money. Well, number one, that wasn't the case. Number two, he was an old chapter we put on the shelf for a long time until he came out later and started talking trash.
Right.
Because of what came out about Hoover's past.
Right.
Trying to connect that to you.
Yep.
He's the one who brought this all back up.
Right. I covered that. Yep.
And if anybody's making money, maybe it was on the guy who went around the whole country telling people what he didn't do for what, Brent? What did he do that for?
For fame and money.
Yeah.
For fame and money. All right, let's see how he thinks I should have handled this. Well, a phone call, that was an option that you said no to, Rob. Let's see how else Rob thinks that I should have handled this.
I agree with the phone call. I think if you are connected with the person, I think that the first move should always be to go directly.
Yeah, I agree.
When you and I
No, he doesn't agree.
We talked briefly on the phone.
Yes.
Probably about a month ago when we were setting this up. And I'm pretty sure I told you, my biggest concern in all of this is the external view of the veteran community and how it erodes. The biggest question I get now is, how do I know who to trust?
That's a good question.
That's actually a really hard question to answer because there are public examples. And I don't want to harp on Tim too much. I think Tim he's one of the nicest people that I've ever been around.
Me too.
But at this point, the volume of information around what he has been, in his own words, not what other people were saying, is at a point where it's like, man, the conclusion that I am coming to, that the evidence points to, is that you lied repeatedly. Why you did so, I leave that to you to make up your own mind. But a phone call, I don't know if fixes that one. And most of those things that were said were actually public facing. So how do you address that without being public about that? I'm not trying to compare the two situations.
It's not my problem.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not trying to compare the two situations. I'm thinking out loud, should there be a mechanism? Because vets, unfortunately, are probably the only people that can sniff out the BS.
Oh, no doubt about it.
And call out other vets. I think it's the how.
The how definitely needs to change.
The how needs to change. Okay.
How do we do it? Because
This is what's hilarious. So the how needs to change, and he would like it to be done privately. And so basically what he's saying is, and isn't this convenient? I would like to be able to mislead the American public, and I would like to make all the money and say things publicly. And then when you call me out privately, I'll go, my bad. And then you'll just go back to that's. I'm trying to think of a good way to describe it. It's almost like, of course you don't like how it's done.
Yeah.
Because
it has accountability and it brings things to light.
Right. Because you're the one that has to pay the price for misleading people this whole time. That would be like asking illegal immigrants, do you like ICE? And do you think the way ICE deports people is the way it should be done? And an illegal, of course, ICE does. Of course, illegal immigrants don't like ICE.
I wanted the ICE to give me a phone call.
Of course, they'd be like, the deportations should be handled in a private manner and on the trust system that I'll go back.
Yeah.
My bad.
Text them to go back home.
It's insane.
And they'll go back home.
asking the guy who's been doing it publicly and has the most to lose about being called out, saying, how would you prefer it be done? Of course he doesn't like that method. It holds him accountable. Let's see what else. Let's see where he goes from here.
When the end state of people, let's say, coloring outside of the lines is public, does a private phone call solve that, or does the response actually have to be public too? And I don't necessarily have an answer to this.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think it necessarily needs to be public, especially like when they're comparing to me. It started with Tim Kennedy with a Bronze Star without valor.
Yeah, it was a Slick BS versus BV.
But a lot of people don't realize there is an administrative award for a Bronze Star. And then the V means you're in combat. Correct. And he didn't have a V. And that's where the argument started. And I don't know all the stories he told, to be fair. I've met Tim a few times and I like him personally.
Yep.
And he's a black belt in jiu-jitsu, won UFC fights. I'm taking his word. That's how we started. Bronze Star with V, I have 4 of those with V.
Same.
Don't give a fuck. That's where the argument starts. But then we start saying Tim's a fraud, Rob, just like Rob O'Neill. It's like, hold up.
Yeah.
4 Bronze Stars with valor, 2 Silver Stars that don't come with valor. It's assumed gallantry. Like another one with valor, another one with shit like that. When they start lumping me in maliciously saying they're all liars, you're broad brush stroking. It's not calling Rob O'Neill and saying, hey, here's the issue.
Okay. Yeah, and again, I'm not trying to compare.
Let's address that real quick. Of course, he goes back to that's not calling Rob. Rob, once again, let me remind you, I gave you my phone number. Is him saying, well, he's comparing his medals to say we're nothing alike, but it wasn't about the medals. Rob, I've never questioned your medal count. You absolutely get lumped in when one guy tells a story that's not the truth, that didn't happen, and then another in order to get fame and money, and then another guy doesn't tell the truth, and he does it in order for fame and money. Well, that seems to be the same type of person. That seems to be that you could clump those two together, couldn't you?
Absolutely.
Am I crazy?
You're crazy, but not about that.
All right. Let's. Oh, and for him to only talk about Tim Kennedy's, it's about a medal thing. I don't really know about it. You clearly don't know about it. We could spend another 20 minutes talking about everything but his medals. It was way more than that. But way to downplay that. But he has to. He has to downplay the Tim Kennedy thing, because he can't give me credit for exposing Tim Kennedy for as bad as he was, because I'm the same guy exposing him.
Right.
So if you're right on one, people go, well, he's probably right on the other. So he's really getting painted in a corner right now, and he wants to talk about something else.
Well, apparently there are some people out there that believe it's okay to make money lying about things, but you're a terrible person if you're trying to do something and tell people the truth. Make it make sense, Brent.
I can't. I can't. All right, see what else he has.
I've never been asked about what happened in the room by anyone there except the point man.
In
the bedroom.
Well, give me like a few more minutes. We'll get to that.
I'm just saying that's a very important question.
Oh, I know. And trust me.
And I'm not saying you didn't do your research. I'm just
he's letting Andy know what good questions are.
No, the veteran public facing positives and negatives, there has to be a way to, and again, I don't have the answer to this. And so separating the two, because what can happen is that, and I agree with you on this, you can develop a following, let's say, and the first ones, you have a history of, you find something and you talk about it and it's true and it grows, right? So then you find something else and you talk about it and it's true. Maybe your business model even shifts. So that's what, you know what I mean? Then it becomes that. Then you're looking for more salacious, you're looking for more controversial, and then you get one wrong, right? I don't know, and this is where it just gets lost, and people are like, I'm so tired of seeing vets attack each other. What do we do? Which vet's telling the truth? Which one's not? And I don't have answers to any of this. I'm just trying to paint the picture of what I see in front of us, and it's rough.
Well, when I checked into Red Squadron in 2004, Wyman Howard was the CEO, and I remember, I'll never forget. We're standing against a wall, fresh out of green team, don't know shit about this place, and I remember him.
All right, I got to chime in here.
Yeah.
What drove me nuts about this interview was every time Andy asked like a significant question or a pertinent question, Rob would launch into irrelevant details about background stuff and people. It was just the weirdest thing.
Right. He's talking about how we should handle the bogus vet situation.
Yeah.
And he breaks out into I'm a new guy at Red Squadron story.
He starts naming people and their rank and all this other stuff. It's like, what does that have to do with anything?
And this isn't the first time he does it. It's not the only time he does it either.
You know, talking to the entire squadron, I'm there. I'm a fly on the wall, amazed at this level.
In fact,
and he said, you know, when we all retire,
it's,
if we work together, we'd all be millionaires, but that's never going to happen. And that's why it needs to be stopped, because people working together will get rid of some of the bullshit questions that come up for some reason. And I don't know where the stories, some of the stories is built on each other. I don't know where they come from, but there's a better way than just saying this guy's a fucking fraud, kill him, or not kill him, but ruin his life. Like you think? I mean, Tim Kennedy had a lot of, and are they better off? People that pointed it out? Do they
I don't know. And for Tim, I think he has done more net positive than net harm.
Without question.
The problem
without question. Let's just hold on that just real quick. And there's very few times I disagree with Andy. And by the way, I don't think it. I think I would say it goes without saying. I'm going to say it anyway. I couldn't be any bigger of a fan of Andy Stumpf. He is one of
dude.
He's one of the best men out there. He's one of the best podcasters out there. I will never be as good as Andy Stumpf, and
classy dude,
and I'm okay with
classy
that.
Dude.
I will never have his vocabulary or his professionalism as much as I try. But when you say he's been a net positive, he's done way more good things than bad things. It goes back just because I didn't do another because I decided enough was enough. Because I didn't end up doing another podcast on the pullout of Afghanistan of what Tim Kennedy did. And I didn't end up doing a podcast on what he did or didn't do in North Carolina and Israel. It goes back to who says he did all these good things? Oh, Tim did? And that's how you know he did all these good things? Well, I've already proven to you, and now it's a fact, that all the good things he did in combat didn't happen. So what makes you think all the good things he did and other areas is also true? It's just that's the one place I think Andy gets it wrong, and of course Rob gets that wrong too, as he gets a lot of things wrong during this interview.
In my opinion, which counts for nothing, the problem with the situation with Tim is that he won't own it.
That's if he would own it off the bat, it would have been a better call.
Rob, don't you start.
I mean, if you look back at the first video, he basically at the end said, you know, fuck you guys, the anti-hero guys.
I'd heard that too. I didn't see it.
I watched it. He made the video, and it's like, dude,
sounds
you
similar.
went after the
I know
message.
another guy did that.
Message, and then when he did try to own it,
you called
I forget
me an
the exact
asshat. You could have owned it too, Rob.
unintentionally. I would like to take unequivocal responsibility.
Yeah,
and he didn't. And I understand why, because I think there are probably cascading legal consequences from that. He might be in risk from his publisher, from a book, things of that nature.
Did that get approved, the book?
Wow.
That's my advice for anyone
Such
writing
a big deal.
Book.
Approval.
It's a huge deal to
the military
him.
getting approved.
Yeah, I mean, that is an approach.
But Andy's about to get to it here.
That is.
I get it. I mean, that's what I did. I was like, my book came about funny because my father's convinced that I do everything, and has been. Like, he's convinced. He's still in Butte, Montana, right?
Yeah.
Here's the point. When I joined the military, I was in the delayed entry program, and G.I. Jane was coming out.
Yep.
Demi Moore had just been down there to check it out. We were at home, and there was a Life magazine depicting buds, and inside was drown proofing. And my father said, see, that's you right there. I can tell that's you by your calves. As he was facing, Dad, I'm literally not in the Navy yet.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not.
That could potentially be me in an evolution one day.
I'm pretty sure your dad knows you're not in the Navy yet.
And he said that's the point. I don't know. I don't think that whole story was the point. But the point was to call out G.I. Jane and how cool it was. I don't know.
He's hard to track sometimes.
I saw you yesterday, and this article was written last month. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just so it's funny. No, what was the first question though? Because I was making a point about my father.
What was the question?
I was talking about how owning
it. Yeah. So anyway, sorry. So
it's funny when it comes to the answer about owning it.
Yeah.
Where were we? I forgot what my answer. Yeah. Oh, you don't want to answer.
I was talking about Life magazine in my calves.
Yeah. That my dad forgot that I was in the Navy yet. All right.
When I got to Buds, I remember I'm in my whites again, same fucking day. Someone is up at 6:02 yelling at someone else who just finished the 5.5 nautical mile swim or whatever. I'm like, what am I doing here? And my dad said, keep a journal for sure. because someone's going to want to read your book one day. And I remember, I'll keep a journal, but who the fuck's going to want to read my book?
Yeah.
But then I had a journal. It's like, well, I'll just get this approved.
Yeah.
And it did.
You know,
That's
it's
kind of how that came
hold
about.
on, hold on. No, keep
Yeah,
on,
I've
keep
heard
going.
Horror,
Get it approved.
I've heard horror stories and stuff sliding through like a train on greased rails when it comes
Seriously,
to the
I was surprised how fast it was for me.
Yeah.
They took out one number and they made me say Army Special Forces instead of a different unit.
Interesting. I wonder what that.
Because I was
could
impressed with them. There was
possibly
there was a time
because they're amazing.
when I ran into Delta the first time. Was that well, not ran into?
All right,
Michael
let's pause real quick.
redacted.
It'll come up here later, but he always does this, and Andy's about to call him out here in a little bit about how his book got approved. I just have to remind people, as Andy's going to remind people, he really just plants that flag that, oh, did Tim's book get approved? You know, Matt Bissonnette's book didn't get approved.
He didn't say that, but that's the implication.
That's the implication.
Yeah.
And he says that in other podcasts.
Yes, he does.
There is no veracity check by the military about what you say. They're only saying if you give away tactics or capabilities. That's all they care about. But I'll tell you what's funny. I just couldn't help but notice it. Did the guy carry a journal? It's just me. I know. I'm just at this point. I doubt it because I doubt your dad forgot you're in the Navy as well. You know who else claimed to have a journal and wrote his book off of his journal?
Tim.
Tim. They're so alike.
Yeah.
How dare I clump them together? They're so alike. All right. Let's see.
Sorry about that. I remember seeing them, and I think I'd worked with them at the command, but then I saw them
All right,
in
fast
bio.
forward. He just talked about how awesome Delta Force is.
Get out of the
He's
I
not
shit you
wrong.
not.
So
I was
it's probably
thinking,
the only thing
fuck,
he
that's
says
Delta. I
that's
hope I meet
right.
the guy that killed Bin Laden because they're going to get that fucking mission eventually. That's I was impressed with those dudes.
Those guys are awesome.
I don't give a fuck who you are. When you step off a little bird after a gunfight, you're cool, motherfucker.
Yeah. No, I did cross training work up in deployment with A Squadron. They're fantastic.
Fantastic. And they had the best job on earth. The VIs, are you shitting me? That's your job? You're going to hunt people off a little bird with a machine gun?
Yeah.
Sign me up.
Yeah, there are a few job
Talk
requirements.
about jealousy. Jesus, I want that job.
So where do you think the lawsuit goes from here?
Hopefully court. They're trying to get it dismissed right now. They want it dismissed before discovery. I don't. I want to go to court. They're trying to move it to federal court, but all three defendants are in, all the defendants are in Florida. It doesn't need to go federal. We're going to keep it in New York. We moved to keep it in New York.
How do you think the discovery process would impact that if they wanted to subpoena, let's say, everybody that went up to the third deck?
I love this answer.
Good question.
If they could subpoena everyone, well, I mean, they could if they wanted. There's no reason to.
Yeah.
The first two people in the room saw what happened. Mm-hmm. The third guy in the room, he said he didn't see what happened.
All right.
And the third guy in the room was.
So I love this answer, which is it's like asking a criminal, hey, like when you did this bank robbery, should we bring in these witnesses that were in the bank? You know, I don't think you need to bring in any witnesses that were in the bank. They didn't see anything.
No, they didn't see nothing.
I mean, it's for him as if he's like swaying my opinion or my lawyer's opinion or anyone's opinion, and be like, well, you know what? Dang, I didn't think about that. Let's not subpoena everyone that was there.
Right.
It'd be useless.
It's like all the people in the chats that say things like, well, you weren't there. Well, apparently that doesn't count because if you were there, according to Rob, they don't know what happened either.
Right. Those guys weren't on the mission. Those guys weren't in all the rooms. Those guys didn't talk to each other. Those guys weren't in the debrief. All of that. The guys on the ground. Just don't even worry about that. Just basically what he's saying is, guys, just take my word for it. Just take my word for it. I just think it's a technique. It didn't work, Rob. I'm subpoenaing everyone.
The number 3 man in a stack. He was the point man of a second stack.
Really?
Yes, that's where the confusion comes in.
How did he end up the point man of a second stack? Was there a distance between the
well,
first
now,
stack?
and I need to clarify also, just for people listening, this lawsuit is not about proving who killed bin Laden. It's about malicious defamation of character. They don't need to subpoena anyone to see how mean and rude and trying to make a living off ruining me.
Okay.
What's the bar?
I'm suing so many high schoolers.
Hold on. I almost couldn't believe he said that, although you would think at this point, there's nothing would surprise me. This isn't about who killed bin Laden. So this whole lawsuit isn't about the truth. It's about me being mean about it, which is crazy because I just showed you how mean I was about it.
Yeah.
I called him a war hero. I said he served his country honorably. I said he went on hundreds of missions and did great things. But at the end of the day, all the good things you do does not give you a pass to lie about something and then take someone else's heroism and claim it as your own for money and fame. So it's insane that he just said that. It's not about who killed bin Laden. That's exactly what this is about. This is about the truth. So he's sitting there basically just said, this isn't about the truth. It's about being mean. So I don't think Rob's a dumb guy, but maybe he doesn't understand how defamation lawsuits work.
No, but he does understand how manipulation and psyops works.
He does, and he's getting into it right here. Let's continue.
Of proof on that for your lawyer.
Probably the lawsuit, if they read it, they would see how much stuff I have depicted over even the past year, which is statute of limitations.
Okay.
Just malicious, jealous.
So it's essentially
about you're being a dick and you're going to stop. You're making money off defaming me. I've told the story about my daughters who are in college now that were.
Oh, here comes the
and I'm not
heartstrings.
disparaging. Like that's what they say now too. Oh, what about the veterans who didn't come home with their kids? I'm not saying anything about them. I'm saying my kids. My 4-year-old daughter at her preschool at Rollingwood Elementary. I was at her tea party on my birthday, Good Friday, April 10th.
She's not currently at the school, is she?
Not anymore.
I was going to say, because I'd be like, Michael, make a note of that time because we are bleeping that out.
But no. This was 2009.
He's
Okay.
very
So
detailed about irrelevant
doxing your own child right
but
now.
the stuff that counts is very vague.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
4 years old, my birthday.
I think you do.
We get a call. Got to go rescue Richard Phillips. Give her a kiss and leave for war.
This a little bit. He just talks about.
Okay. 3-year-old, my other daughter. I got to leave to go on Bin Laden raid. I haven't even told my wife where we're going because we just got back from deployment. And I'm telling her I got to go. Now this is a one-way mission. The Bin Laden raid. We're going to die on the way in. Get blown up when we get there. This is it. I got to tell her goodbye. She's 3. She told me to wait. Went upstairs, put Mr. Elephant and a pillow and a Hello Kitty carry-on and said, well, how a 3-year-old can say you're going to take me on vacation when you get home. Okay. Now they're in college and they're proud of me and they have TikTok.
Okay.
And everywhere. Everything they've ever been proud of your dad's a fucking fraud. He's a fraud. He's a liar and a fraud.
Yeah,
Did they get that in
Rob.
person or
Okay.
online?
So let's
They
talk
get it
about that
online.
real quick. Again, he's mad at me because his daughters are now questioning him. If that's true. Drew, let me just ask you, you appear to be a smart guy at times.
At times.
Now, yes, me not calling out his story as being false is one way that his daughters did not have to go through this. Can you think of any other way that his daughters didn't have to go through this?
Okay, I'm grasping at straws here, Brent, but I do believe that one way you could prevent that is when you come back from your mission, don't lie about what you did to the whole United States of America and make millions of dollars off of something you didn't do.
That would be...
I don't know. It might work.
Somehow he just couldn't connect that. He just couldn't connect that. And I think the people listening can connect that just fine. Let's keep going.
But then they call me at night. They can't sleep. They've been proud of me their whole lives. I'm stopping that. That's how you get a defamation lawsuit for people listening. It's not about who killed bin Laden.
Yes, it is.
It's
How
about
much of-
you're taking pleasure in maliciously defaming me.
No.
How much of the responsibility, and again, this is a way upstream question, how much of I'm not saying you're responsible, but your actions or decision to come forward with who you are and the book and putting your name out there, if you hadn't made that choice.
My name was out the second I pulled the trigger.
No, it wasn't.
And I heard the
out
conversation.
into the military worlds or the civilian
Here's how it
worlds?
started. Even on the second deck, I ran into Will Chesney on the second deck with Cairo, and he asked me who got him. I heard
Let's pause
other
it
guy
there
who got
just real
him.
quick.
Nisro.
This is important because he lists Chesney as someone who is a witness of his. Guess what he just admitted to? He runs into Will Chesney on the second deck, and Will doesn't know who shot him. And so he asks Rob. And then Rob tells him, which is at the time a partial truth because Rob was the last guy to shoot him.
Yeah, he shot him.
But Rob wants to go, I did.
Yeah, I shot him. Yeah.
So now that's all Rob says.
It's a true statement.
And it's a true statement.
Yeah.
But now, Rob, you just admitted the guy who is in your corner that he didn't know who did. He asked you, and then you told him that and admitted I guess it started right on target, him omitting the other people who shot him. So you've already on this podcast admitted to tainting Will Jesse's opinion of who did it. Where did he get it? Oh, he got it from you? Thank you for that, Rob.
One of the answers I heard was, "Oh, great, we're never going to hear the end of this because I tell stories, I fucking talk." So people were asking, and then we get back, and there's we go to the CBs. There's the internet stuff like that on the flight over. People are, we got Virginia, we got some guys in DC, we got Coronado. Hey, don't tell anybody, but then you get back, and it's like your bartender, don't tell anybody. So my name's out. Someone that was a fellow at the White House called to say, "Hey, we heard it."
Your name's out, and guess how it's out? You told everyone. In fact, I have a video. He's like, "Oh, we went to the bars." I actually have a video of him going to the bars when he got back. It's out there on the internet.
I fucking shot Bin Laden!
I don't know how anyone found out.
For, say a guy who just shot Osama Bin Laden.
I tell you, it's a mystery.
He might get a defamation lawsuit. I don't know. You've got to be careful.
Yeah. It's an absolute mystery how it got out at the bars. I don't.
Bin Laden! Get your fucking ass out of here! I shot Osama Bin Laden. Who shot Bin Laden? I go, Osama Bin Laden! And he goes, who's asking? I'm like, the US of A, motherfucker. Bam.
I believe this would be a documentary, by the way. I believe this would be a documentary. All right, there you go. I'm not saying that's an exclusive. Some people may have seen it before, but it's sometimes some things warrant visiting again. So again, I don't know how people got the idea that you shot Bin Laden. Maybe from you. All right, let's keep going.
Spitball.
Yeah.
Name's out.
Well, that's out, but that's inside of at least the bubble. I'm talking like
I didn't release it then. We're going to be the best friends forever. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Not after this podcast.
And there was just getting back. There was butthurt. People were butthurt. We went out drinking the night we got back.
Yeah, I'm not saying that though. What I'm saying is publicly coming out and acknowledging.
Well, I mean, later on, I stayed in the Navy.
Yeah.
I went to JSOC to put in. I wanted to be a Master Chief.
Yeah.
But then really bad shit started happening. I went to JSOC to put in a warrant package. I'm still going to stay in for 30 years.
Again, here comes the details of irrelevancy.
I'm down there in JSOC, and then extortion went down. Obviously, everything, morale, can.
Yeah.
We were having some issues at Red Squadron. And it was being at JSOC didn't help that I wasn't around the command. Biss was going around, starting a lot of shit, going to see the Master Chief every Monday morning, talking about me, saying I'm signing a book deal, going to DC. Like I went up to DC, I was dating a girl. I was separated.
Are you kidding me? Rob O'Neill is going to sit there. He's working at a Tier 1 secret organization. And he's like, this guy's out there telling people that I'm writing a book deal. Rob, you wrote a book. You did write a book. Matt Bissonnette was absolutely right. If he knew you were writing a book and you're still in and you're under NDA, there's a reason he got PNG'd because you're not supposed to. And you're upset that you're in a secret organization and you're about to write a book deal. Someone says that you're about to write a book deal. And he's like, can you believe this guy? He's over here saying, I'm going to write a book deal. Well, you did. Yeah, right. It's insane. The guy, it's insane. He's always the victim.
Don't know what the timing is. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. And I get on a Saturday night, I get a text saying, you need to be back in Virginia Beach Monday morning at 7 for a reprimand because Biss tattletaled on me.
Oh, he tattletaled on you.
The Red Squadron was having.
We're going to get ahead of it a little bit, but apparently he doesn't like tattletales. And a tattletale is when you say something you shouldn't say, right? Like you're expected to keep this wrong quiet, but you tell anyway. So apparently Rob O'Neill does not like tattletales. Just store that one away because the irony of that statement is going to be unbelievable in about 10 minutes.
The way the Bin Laden thing went down at the end started shady.
It was almost like a draft, I heard. Like they pulled like the senior most people and everybody kind of took a step down. Like the skipper became like the troop commander.
And before the raid or after?
For the ones who actually went on the raid. I had heard the way
because I'm talking after the afterfest. I could talk about before.
Well, I had heard that the way they picked the people to go on the raid had
seniority,
had some lasting impact on the camaraderie of Red Squadron. Maybe perhaps people felt like they deserved to be there, but they weren't chosen.
Morale was the lowest I remember it being at Red Squadron.
Before?
Yes.
Because of that, do you think?
Because of a lot of the structure with the senior
I want to make a
leadership.
point
And I'm
here
not
real
trying
quick too. Just something else that I want you to remember here in about 10 minutes. 1, Rob doesn't like tattletales. 2, this is something very unique that they did that has never been done before to my knowledge. I know it's not the way my organization would have ever done it. And that's not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying it's very unique. They basically picked this all-star team I say it's an all-star team, but the senior people to go on this raid. Well, one of the problems is of sorts, like each troop can do things a little bit different. So we just wouldn't mix troops. Like you want an organic team that always works together. Just the best way to describe it is just because the NFL puts together an all-star team doesn't mean that they can beat the Super Bowl champs.
You need
because
synergy.
the Super Bowl, they play together all the time. So it's something super unique. However, that does mean nothing but senior guys are on this mission. Now, they may do tactics slightly different, but that's okay. They pulled it off because they are really good at their job. Yeah. But what it would cut down on, when you have senior guys, they don't do stupid things. I'll tell you that. So just remember, they only brought the most senior of guys, the best guys, because they didn't want anyone doing anything stupid. So we just talked about that. Andy brought that up. Rob confirmed it. We're going to talk about that here in a little bit too. Keep going.
Senior leadership.
Yeah.
The style was way too micromanaging.
Yeah.
And we used to get into, I'm sure, when officers come in, they've got 3 years. The enlisted guys are running the show, but then the officers know they need to do a lot of shit, so they're really going to start burning people out. And that was going on at Red Squadron. I'm not trying to pick anyone out.
Yeah.
Just with the leadership, they started. And then, so you get, we're all back from a deployment. I was running the outstations. We get back, we're in Miami, some guys are out west in Vegas or whatever. You do the first post-deployment good deal trip. Mm-hmm. And then we get recalled. They recalled 1s and 2s, some 3s.
And for people listening, that's a rank structure, one being the highest inside of the team, whether it be skipper, the troop level, team level. So the senior personnel.
Yeah.
Yep.
So and so they pull us in. I think there was 28 total. It was alternates. So I think it was a 23 team and then some alternates.
Yeah.
But we're at the new building, which I don't like the new building. I like the old building.
I've never been.
Who cares?
You're not missing out. It's just, it's like a skiff. The whole second deck's a skiff. So you got to go to that end of the 3-mile long building or that end to go upstairs to walk a mile to your team room, shit like that. Right. But they called us into a conference room behind the conference room and locked the door so no one else can come in but these 28.
Yeah.
And these are all SEAL Team 6 guys. So what's going on in there? And then you come out and, well, I can't tell you. And I don't care if you're trying to be cool or not. So morale takes a hit there.
Yeah.
Guys pull themselves off of the trip because they're not telling us what it is. It started out with, we found a thing in it. No, they started out with something about cables under the ocean that we're going to go repair.
All right.
That is like an STD
That's
Let's pause it there. Don't worry. I know this just seems like I'm nitpicking a little bit. When he gets to the 3rd floor, we got some big things to talk about. But I just have to point out things when they're there. I don't know why he does this when he tells stories. He's like, we're going to go repair underwater cables. Was their cover story that NSW, that SEAL Team 6 was giving them for this mission they can't tell them about? How many? It's the worst cover story in the world. So either that's true, and now I believe SEAL Team 6 is the worst at ever giving their men cover stories, or it never happened. And by the way, I may have talked to some people, and they may have said, "What?
What?
That's not even in our mission set. We've never repaired cables. We've never trained to repair cables. That That would be the worst cover story ever. And so that's just silly. The guy just can't tell the truth when it comes to the small stuff, much less the big stuff. And then for him to say, yeah, guys pulled themselves off the mission because they thought they were going to do underwater repair. Never happened. I'll say this is I can't say it's my opinion because I've actually talked to people. That never happened. No one pulled themselves off the mission because of that. If anyone didn't go on the mission, it was either because of injuries or surgeries. But let me tell you, when a tier 1 organization pulls you into the back room and only pulls in this situation, only the senior people and say, hey, we can't really tell you what you're doing, but basically, and you look around and you're like, oh, only the senior guys are here and we can't talk about it. Let me tell you what, there's not a person in that room pulling themselves off the mission. They're like,
that's seal candy.
This is is big.
Yeah.
It's so big they can't tell me. I'm a tier 1 operator and they won't even tell me right now.
Yeah.
And we have the most senior guys. There's no one that sat in that briefing and said, nah, I'm pulling myself off this mission. He always has to tell he is entertaining, but he tells good stories. And that's a good story, but that's what it is.
And it's just a lot of information to avoid the real subject.
Yeah. Let's keep going. Hang in there, guys. We're getting to the 3rd floor.
Cover story to get us out of town. And then they said, okay, we found a thing in a house in a bowl in these mountains and you're going to go get it. What's the thing? Can't tell you type shit. And so dudes didn't think it was a real mission. So like they had ruts being run in Guam or LA and shit like that. So they pulled themselves off. Yeah. But morale was really taking a hit. Yeah. This is before the Bin Laden raid.
Okay. Before we get into the raid, I want to make sure that
this is Andy trying to reel it back in.
Publicity with your
You're doing a
kids.
great job.
If you had put your name out publicly, do you ever sit back and wonder the difference?
No, never
I
really
was
got
at
an
a
answer
point.
at the beginning.
I was at a point where my name was out enough that I decided.
Well, there's a difference between your name being out and somebody coming forward and
yeah,
saying
but
something.
there's also
Andy.
a difference between admitting they know who you are or putting your head in the sand and saying, "Well, they'll never know because I didn't say anything yet."
Yeah,
that's where I was at. And people know this. I have to. I'm not even going to get into the. They've moved a lot since the Bin Laden raid. My kids have, and it's been bad. Like not fun.
Yeah, and
if you hadn't been as public as you have,
well, if I wouldn't have been picked for the Bin Laden raid, I would probably be a Master Chief at San Diego right now, and they'd be fine.
Sure, but also things like the Esquire magazine and stuff like that. If you chose not to participate in things like that,
that was a different reason for that. And
no, my whole point is though, but like the choice to exist publicly is a choice. Do you ever? I'm not arguing against the defamation. What I'm saying is the biggest
being a public figure,
and the choice to do so, even though in the military circles your name was out. I was at Tradet at the time when the operation
his name
went
was
down,
out, and again,
I'll tell you the name of the
you
Master
did a
Chief
really
afterwards,
good
but he was a
job of
previous
making
red guy.
sure you let everyone know that it was you.
Yeah,
your name
this
was
was
out,
within
but
days.
not
So yeah,
in public.
in the military for sure,
Not in
but that's
public.
different than being a public figure.
Yeah,
it's. It's. Do you ever think about?
This is a great answer. I love this.
If you could go back in time, I guess the question is, would you still decide to be a public figure based around that particular operation? Not that your career is defined by that, but it's probably
no, my career is defined by that now.
Would you make the same choice? As far as public figure, your desire.
Andy could be more specific what he wants you to answer.
I would have made a lot of different decisions.
About it being a public figure.
I would not have provided the top cover in the after action.
He didn't ask you about the top cover. He asked about being a public figure.
Don't jump ahead. We're getting there.
You're asking.
We're getting there.
Look, I'm not unhappy that I gave a squeeze to the point man going upstairs.
Didn't ask you about giving
there
a
was
squeeze
no
to
one
the
behind
point
me.
man. Ask you about being
I'm
a
not
public
unhappy
figure.
when a troop chief behind me before I went into Bin Laden's house said, "Let's clear the garden." I said,
He didn't
"The
ask
garden's
you about
fucking
clearing the
good.
garden. He
Let's
asked
go
about
into
being
Bin
a
Laden's
public
house." I would have
figure.
kept doing that. I wouldn't have given as much top cover though. I'm doing what happened after the Bin Laden raid. I remember saying to myself, "I'm going to regret this. This is going to come back to haunt me."
Okay.
Why would you feel like that?
What do you mean by top cover?
I can explain to you what happened. Because the big thing they talk about is an after action report.
I have heard or read
Let's go.
that there exists cell phone audio recorded.
Yeah, I've heard there might be 2, but I know the commanding officer recorded 1.
So, and for clarity, before we even start talking about this, I have never been on an operation that was at that level of.
Neither had I.
So what I'm saying is, like, the ARs I have done.
Well, that's the point.
They're like around the fucking table, like, you know what I mean? Because they were like super low level, and if we really needed something to focus on or like change something, we would sit and talk about it. I've never done something like this structure.
That's what I'm saying too. But
on
before
this
we
level.
debrief for the Ranger program, let's get our shit together.
Yeah.
There's a debrief, and then there's probably the AA.
So the boys got together, talked about
the first debrief was over Bin Laden's body in Jalalabad.
Okay.
So we got back. I was on the 47, and this is how weird it was. I mean, I'm in a new area now. Like we get off the bird. I had a piss bottle in my pocket.
What
I didn't want to use them.
Oh my gosh.
I've never used them. Same reason I carried the old school nods, not the quad nods, because I've jumped with these. I know they
No
work.
one
I
asked
know
you
where the
about a
battery
piss
goes.
bottle
I'm
in
not
your
going to fuck with
nods.
new nods.
way less heavy too.
Yeah. So I also had a diaper, but I'm just going to use a piss bottle. I'll remember to throw it out. Forgot to. I chop in line with
Still
piss
talking
in my
about it.
pocket.
Trying to figure out what I'm going to say.
When we get back, we land.
can't
I'm
with
going
this
to
guy.
put the pisser at the back. There's a trash can in the back of the hangar where we park the helicopters, and there's these mechanics from TF-160 pointing at him. Me. That's the guy that got him.
No, they didn't.
Throw the thing away. The other bird comes back.
Didn't.
I run into.
Why would mechanics point and
that's
say,
right.
that's the guy who did it right after the mission?
Right. Are you telling me they radioed ahead on the helicopter and said, hey, make sure everyone knows Rob O'Neill did it, and make sure the mechanics from back with the 160th know this? Gosh, it's just...
Yeah. We have a discussion over here, and then Bin Laden's body's over here, so we go over that. And the ground force commander said to Bill McRaven, Admiral Bill McRaven, do you want to meet the guy that killed him? He brought him over to me. He put his hand on the back of my neck like this, and it was like almost a fatherly yet uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Looking at Bin Laden, he says, "Your life just changed forever."
Your life just
Where
changed
was
forever?
the,
Hold on.
ground force?
Are you telling me Admiral McRaven put his hand on your shoulder and said, your life is going to change forever? The chance of this happening twice in one day is amazing. I just, when I heard him say that, I was like, I feel like he said that before. Drew, let's go to the next video.
Those are basically suggesting those are the suicide bombers, but if we go right now,
Fast forward just a little bit.
we can beat them. And I remember taking a deep breath, and it was by no means bravery on my part. It was more of, okay, we're going to blow it now, and I'm tired of thinking about it. Let's fucking get over with. So I get the squeeze, he goes up, he moves the curtain, and there were 3 people standing there. He didn't have enough time. He just jumped on them. How he doesn't have a medal of honor is beyond me. He
Keep it going.
jumped on the grenade so the guy behind him could get the shot.
Damn.
So and simply because he went this way, I turned this way. And standing 3 feet in front of me is Osama bin Laden, and he's got his hands on Amal, his wife's shoulders.
Which the White House
And
says that
I don't know
didn't
what
happen.
he's doing. He's not surrendering. He's maneuvering somehow. His hands are on her, and I remember thinking, he's taller than I thought. He's skinnier than I thought.
So you knew it was him as
Right
soon as
away.
you turned
Right
the
away.
corner?
Yep. His beard is gray.
His beard was
He's
black.
not surrendering. He's got to have a suicide belt. So I shot him twice when he was standing up. I shot him again on the floor, and then I moved Amal out of the way. So I can hear Bin Laden taking his last breath. When I shot him, he fell to the foot
So
of
he
the
just
bed.
shoots him
Where'd
in
you
the
shoot him?
I shot him in the face 3 times.
He just shot him in the face 3 times. That's important. Keep going.
I moved Amal, and his 2-year-old son is now standing there. And this is the humanity of
He
everything.
moved them all.
This kid has got nothing to do with this. I'm a father.
He's
And I
looking at his
picked him
kidneys,
up,
thinking about his
and
kid.
I move them to the back of the bed.
Move them to the back of the bed. Remember all this for later.
She'd been shot, and I turn around and I kind of froze, and I'm okay.
Are you kidding me?
What's that? I just built a budgeting app in Base 44. Guys.
Skip that.
Other Navy SEALs are now coming in the room. A lot of guys are in there, and one of my guys came up to me and he said, "Are you good?" And I said, "No. What are we supposed to do now?"
Tactical amnesia.
And he said, "Now
forgot
we're
his
playing the
job.
computers. We do this every night, hundreds of times." And I said, "Yeah, you're right. I'm back. Holy shit!" And he said to me, "Yeah, you just killed Osama bin Laden. Your life just changed. Get to fucking work."
Oh,
And so we did.
so who told you your life's going to change? Both the guy on target and Admiral McRaven, or did he get his stories a little bit confused and forgot which guy told him which story he had?
Yeah.
That's just
Which guy did it?
That's crazy. That's crazy. It's also important that you guys looked back at what he said and that he shot Osama bin Laden in the face 3 times and all the things that he did after he shot Osama bin Laden in the face
So you move the wife.
3 times. Yeah, moved the wife, thought about his kids, moved the kids, and now, and what people do when they come in is remind him what his job is because he forgot, and then this guy tells him that his life is going to change and then I guess he went to Admiral McCraven later and said, "Hey, remind him that his life's going to change because I already told him once."
So Brent, as an associate pastor, I've never breached a room.
Thankfully,
but I do have a little bit of logic. So he has the time to shoot Osama bin Laden 3 times, move his wife, deal with the child, move people to the back of the bed, and then his teammates come in.
Just store that away for a second.
Is that the slowest team that has ever raided a building?
Well, that
sounds slow, Brent.
That's one story. Just store that away for a second.
Okay,
all right,
storing it.
Let's continue on his original podcast. Now, Admiral McCraven happens to say the same exact thing to him. Keep going.
He was right next to me.
No.
He wasn't in the room either.
Yeah.
I mean, words.
Which, for any ground force commander out there,
he better not be in the fucking room.
I was going to say.
Yeah. But see, one of the best ground force commanders I've ever had, and again, this goes to the practice of a debrief. When we were in Iraq in 2007, the best summer of my life, by the way, and we're hitting target, following. We're waiting. The sun's going to come up. I need to call in the birds, but we got, the GRG things on this, whatever. And then my troop commander's right here. I said, all right, here's the deal. Blah, blah, blah. With this building now, we're going to do is flex here, hit this building. And I looked at him and go, shit, sir, you're in charge. And he said, oh, make no mistake, I'm not in charge. I'm responsible. You're in charge. Don't fuck me. Meaning, go do what you have to do, and then tell me what I have to know. Yeah. Also, that's an after action. I don't know any guy's going to do an after action. It's
also not true.
It's exactly how it went down. Perfect.
We a tier 1 operator know who's running things, and that guy knows what he's running and what he's not running.
Yeah.
He's never looked at an officer and be like, oh, I forgot you're in charge here. I'm not making the plan. No, actually, you are making the plan. He just approves the plan, but he doesn't really approve. Once we're out, he doesn't approve the plan. Like he just goes, okay, you guys go. That's just again another side story, and it's just that it's a story. All right, let's keep.
Everyone's safe.
Yeah,
I've done hundreds of them, and everyone listening to this who's been in the military has too. And an after action report when something can be incriminated, you don't just throw it out for them to record.
What did you and the poor man talk about away from Bin Laden's body?
He asked me the two questions anyone from that team has asked me about the room, other than an email I got from Biss later. And he asked me, where the fuck was everyone?
The one man asked?
Mm-hmm.
It's unique. And then
he's never showed when you went in there.
He always references Biss's email, but he's never shown the email. I'd just be very interested. Usually when you want to prove, what someone did, you normally, if you talk about it that much, it's like, hey, he could. What would be great if he showed that? I hate to give him advice, but if he showed that on his struggling podcast, like that would get you the views that you so desperately want. Yeah. But because he never shows it, something tells me there's something not exactly the way he talks about it in that email.
Shots.
He took a shot.
Okay. And was asking you whether or not he was hit.
When I saw him.
When the debrief went down.
Yes.
What was the difference between those two?
The difference was the shot hit him on the top of the head. And then what we said was, and then I went in and he was circling the drain. Mm-hmm. That's the story. That's clean.
That's clean.
Clean.
Meaning there's no questions. That's their debrief.
Is that what happened?
No.
Okay, hold on.
I'm prepared to tell you.
He's about to tell us what really happened. So let's cover this lie. Even though he's not a liar, but now he just admits that he did lie. But what's crazy is, of sorts, he's lying about a lie. So he says, "Hey, we have to make this clean." He already gave the reasons why they had to make it clean, because the one man missed the shot is what he's saying. And then, but what we're going to say is what happened is that he grazed him in the top of the head, and I came in and finished him. So he doesn't realize, again, there's so many similarities between him and Tim Kennedy. How dare I clump them together? Tim Kennedy used to tell stories that he thought were cool stories, but it made special forces look really bad.
Right.
He didn't intend, that wasn't his intent.
No.
But he didn't think it through completely, like through that lens.
Yeah.
So what Rob is unintentionally doing, but absolutely doing here, is saying SEAL Team 6 members will lie in a debrief about what happened. That's crazy to me. It's crazy to me. No, they don't. They don't lie. Let me tell you, if you wanted to cover a mistake up, I'm not saying this would never happen, but again, the chances of two people telling you the same thing in the same night in two different countries, one in Afghanistan and one in Pakistan, is pretty low.
Right.
The chances of guys getting together and making this the plan. Hey, something wrong happened. Okay. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to tell a whole lie, make up a whole new story. And he just said only him and Red made up this story. So you're telling me only you and Red now are going to make up a whole new story. And then you're going to go into a debrief with 20 other assaulters. They're all going to hear this new story for the first time and go, yeah, that's what happened.
Yeah.
So now they're all liars or complicit. But what would be easier, making up a whole new story and then just omitting the part that you don't want to admit to and continuing with the true story?
You're just making too much sense there. That's just too much sense.
Okay. If you do something wrong on target, the easier thing would be to tell the story exactly how it happened and just not say things you don't want to say.
Yep.
But apparently what he's saying is, that's not what I'm saying. What he's saying is they're not that smart and they're going to take this complicated route, not tell anyone else. And this is the best way we're going to do things.
Yeah.
How stupid does that make SEAL Team 6 look?
Pretty bad.
And they're not. I've worked with them. They're some of the greatest dudes.
Of course.
They're some of the greatest dudes on earth.
Absolutely.
They're cut from the same cloth that my former unit was. They're stand-up guys. And this is not how it happens.
No.
This isn't how it happens. Let's keep going. Believe it or not, it gets crazier.
Down, and I've never told anyone before.
We'll get to that. But so, okay.
This is an exclusive.
Settle down, Rob.
First off, you might want to give it to somebody else because I'm kind of a retard. I don't know if you've read.
The good news is
You should have taken Andy's advice and
Well, and here's
Couple of
given
retards
it to
good
someone else.
microphone.
and here's
as
the
in
thing
no
too.
one.
Like I'm not a provocateur, right?
I never thought that.
And I think actually one of the first things I told you on the phone was like, dude, I don't care who killed Bin Laden.
I believe I said I don't either.
Yeah, but
I'll sue you for $25 million
Because what this
if you say
means
differently.
in the official debrief, the truth wasn't told. Which another way to put that is somebody somewhere lied.
Yeah, possibly.
Well, if the truth wasn't told, I'm going to connect the two.
That's
on
how
that,
it works.
right? If the story that was
I don't
told
think he
in the
knows what a
official
lie is.
debrief
I don't
is
know.
not what happened on the ground, then
It was kind of close.
It was kind of
yeah, but you know
close.
as well as I do, that doesn't mean anything.
Well, at a debrief, it really doesn't either.
Unless that debrief is used
Thank
to
you, Andy.
paint the official narrative moving forward.
Thank you, Andy.
Possibly, yeah.
Possibly.
The good news is, though, in the debrief, the point man for the second stack, who was 3 men in the room, everyone, him and behind, doesn't need to be subpoenaed because they didn't see it.
Thanks. Again, thank you, Rob.
And what some guys saw, they didn't see what they think they saw.
They didn't see what they think they saw? What does that mean?
They didn't see what they think they saw.
Are you trying to convince me? You trying to convince your teammates? You trying to convince yourself? What is that? I've never told my teammates you didn't see what you think you saw. That's insane. They're the best in the world at what they do.
Yeah.
They know what they see.
Yeah, their life depends on what they see.
Their job depends on them understanding what they see.
Yeah. And the life of the
their
man
life?
next to them
Yeah.
depends on what they see.
So he continues to basically just bash his other assaulters as just not being that smart. Let's keep going. Let's see how bad it gets.
This is starting to make me mad, Brent.
people are on TV admitting they shot bin Laden while he was dead, and the appointment was always in front of me. They didn't say how far he was in front of you.
So what actually happened?
When I was 8 guys. Well, now I need to back up.
Talk me through.
Yeah, because
we can skip the garden because I agree with you on that. I feel like the garden was probably a visual sweep.
I think the guys who crashed in the fucking front yard cleared the garden on the way.
We're going to give that one a visual pass.
And I'd love to hear, because I don't know what happened on the helicopter that crashed. All I know is we fast roped a ton training to the point where I was like, we got to stop. I'm getting tendinitis. The only person to fast rope on that mission was the pilot.
Hold on. What did you just say? The pilot fast roped on the mission?
Do they have an autopilot on those helicopters I don't know about? Like a self-hovering?
Maybe. Comment section, help me out. Am I misunderstanding this? The pilot is the only person to fast rope on the mission? Was he clearing with you? What? He was like, I'm out. Co-pilot, take it from here. I'm fast roping with the boys. Yeah. Okay, all right.
But again, another distracting element that is said to just not talk about what Andy's asking. Andy even said, let's skip the garden.
Was he talking about the plane that went down? How they fast rode back the plane?
No, go ahead. Go ahead, Drew. It gets worse from here.
How's that possible?
Like he'd go out there, yeah, nickel. When I walked in, well, after we had a failed breach on the northeast corner because it was a double door, but breacher put 7-foot C6, going to open it, blasted it brick wall. But that's good.
Yeah.
No one puts a fake door, so he's in.
I was going to say that is an interesting indicator.
That's learning by failure. Yeah. Because I think there was even a conversation, failed breaches is bad. It's like, no, this is good. That's a fake door and no one fucking does that. He's definitely in there. But now because we were put on the outside because the helicopter pilot saw the first one go down and my team was supposed to go to the roof. But then he came down and said, get out. And so me, piss bottle in pockets. I remember stepping my right foot out, looking at bin Laden's house, thinking, well, I guess we start the war from here. No problem. I mean, we didn't need the preparation. We've been doing CQB forever. But since we knew the exterior, I know goddamn well we can hit that one. Fail, whatever. And I heard something about Dash 1 going around. They were saying Dash 1 going down.
Oh. And I don't want to get too much into the tactics, obviously.
But I mean, this part of the story is cool because we came over the radio saying, hey, we're going to blast the carport. That same guy, Clear the Garden, said to one of the snipers, the sniper that actually rescued Phil, she goes, oh, we're trying to go silent. He goes, really, buddy? We just crashed a helicopter in front of your silence is going. It's kind of one of those funny conversations.
Yeah, also the C7s are not quiet.
No. Then, though, we got blasted. He said, no, we'll just open it. So they open it. And the thumb came out. And it's like, I remember thinking, okay, I don't know why they're in there, but it doesn't matter. They just are. Yeah. And that's important in life. It doesn't, sometimes it doesn't matter why.
I know it was fast forwarding. I hope you guys caught it. But one of the things he said is he was told to clear the garden. He's like, oh, no, I can clear that garden. Again, Rob O'Neill's the smartest guy on this mission. I don't think his boss told him to clear a garden that was visually cleared. It just sounds like a good story. The sniper coming on and telling people to be quiet and like, well, we've already gone loud. And Andy's like, he's without saying it directly, he's like, well, that doesn't make sense. Like everything's been pretty loud to this point. And he even agrees. He's like, yeah, it's good storytelling. I just don't think it happened, but keep going. It gets better from here.
About that
later in the debrief.
Was the initial plan, just I'm trying to get a better understanding of how you guys plan this. And again, I don't want to go into the tactics of how anybody clears anything, but were you guys planning on slow mechanical movement?
No, fast, because we had to get out. We had 32 minutes on station.
Really?
But I mean, we could refuel with some of the guys.
So he just said they were going
talking
fast.
like full-on hostage rescue?
Air on fire? Well, no.
So a blend of the two?
A hybrid, if you will.
Yeah.
No, we were going to drop off snipers, machine gun, Cairo, cheese, and then interpreter. I still don't know who that fucking guy is, but he had a gun, he spoke fluent Urdu. Then we were going to go to the rooftop, fast rope, and then we had a system rig where actually 0-1. Traffic commander hopped out, put the rope around his back, and then we fast rope onto the balcony. We're going to shoot through the window. It's going to be there.
Oh, interesting.
And then the first team is going to fast rope, take the guest house, come in, we're going to hit them that way.
The classic Oreo.
Right.
The delicious center is not as delicious for those on the inside.
It's hot in the delicious center. But then they crash landed, and so we're out here, the pilot saw them put us out. They thumb comes out, now they're already clearing. Yeah. And that was cool for me because it turns out I got a front row seat to watch this. And I'm literally taking snapshots in my mind because this house is going to blow up and we're going to die. And I got to remember. And the whole thought process too, because people say, why aren't you scared? It's like, what an ending. I'm with my boys, man. These are my
storytelling again.
With my friends.
Was there intel that it was rigged? Or just the assumption based off of the hype?
No intel. Okay. It was assumed.
Yeah. Which is not a bad assumption.
No,
I mean,
but again, looking back though, the only one that really martyred himself was the fucking Caliph.
Was he the dude in the outbuilding?
Yeah, wasn't that what's his name? Al-Masri? Abu Bakr al-Masri, the Caliph from ISIS. He blew himself up. But other guys like bin Laden didn't. It's like I call it they get more heaven if they recruit guys to go blow themselves up. I call that Amway for Allah.
Yeah.
But so he didn't blow himself up, but we thought he would. So when we go in though, the crew went over to the guest house. That was Biss's crew. So him and the guy from Blue Squadron over there.
How much time would you say has elapsed in this? I mean, it's easy to 2 minutes, maybe.
All right, I'll pause it for just a second because I want to. I asked the comments people. Rob, it's talking about the fast rope. Rob was talking about his bird, and his bird ended up landing. It was supposed to go to the. It just apparently what he was talking about. The only guy to fast rope on that mission was the pilot. He just didn't do a good job of explaining it. They're saying it was the crashed helicopter guy said that he ended up fast roping out of the crashed helicopter.
Right. And Matt Bissonnette said the helicopter was at an angle like this, so it would be off the ground a little bit.
But he didn't do a good job of kind of delineating which helicopter he was talking about because he was talking about his helicopter going to the roof. And I have no problem correcting the record.
Yeah.
And it's I knew the comment section would keep me honest, and I got no problem with that.
That's true.
All right, just wanted to make that just want to point that out. Let's go.
Out to me as I went to the front. There's a window going into one of the bedrooms, and one of my guys, really close friends, had taken shots, but the woman jumped on him and she killed her too. And I remember him saying something along the lines of, "Shit, I just killed a woman. Are we something along the lines of, are we going to be in trouble, or is this bad?"
Pause it.
And I remember
again, the storytelling. There was not an operator on the mission of his life worried about a female that hopped on top of a bad guy and he shot them both. It's just him. And again, this is his point. He wants to bring up the fact that lawyers are the bad guys, but they've already picked the best of the best for this mission. Those guys know how to kill. They know who they can kill, and they're not worried about
getting in trouble.
Yeah. He knows that was a good shot, and he's moving on like a dog on the hunt to continue to the next opportunity.
Right.
That's just crazy. But again, Rob, it's just another thing that makes SEAL Team 6 look bad. Like an operator he worries about lawyers on the objective? No, he doesn't. Keep going.
That shit later.
See, that's what I remember thinking. Like, how fucked up are our lawyers and our rules of engagement that we're on the Bin Laden raid? Tier 1 operators are wondering if they're going to jail.
Yeah, because I mean, actually, after they leave the barrel, if you're going to jail or not, that's going to sort itself later on. Yeah, you got to work your way through the problem. Yeah, I'm not advocating for shooting women, anybody. I'm just saying, in the moment, you need to complete the objective.
Happened. Yeah, and it wasn't like he was shocked. It was brought up.
Yeah,
but then other guys went in, so now it's a long hallway, and there's doors off to the side. So I go in there in the hallway, I get out of the hallway. The dude from the other bird in there, and that's when he said something. He said something, helicopter crash. And I was like, what helicopter crash? He said something like, well, ours did, like you walked right past it, we crashed. And I remember watching dudes just being proud of them, because I'm looking for bombs too. I'm thinking the thermal barrel could be hanging down. And what
did it look like on the inside?
Standard house in Iraq.
No indication of the stuff that you were looking for?
Nope, not until the second deck.
Okay, so at the first deck, at the first deck, were you thinking like, oh damn, maybe there is less risk?
When I stopped. I didn't. Charges. There was no guns. Except for the dude.
Yeah.
And then I remember watching guys go through breaching problems. I remember one dude in particular. You know him. I don't want to say his name. He's not public. Watching him go. I'm in Osama bin Laden's house, looking down the hallway. There's a barricaded door to get to the stairwell. The intel chick told us would be there, and Khalid will be there. And I'm watching this dude. He's now going through the problems. I've watched him work at SEAL Team 2 when I was with him. Through making charges, coming up with tactics. Yeah. Check the door, kick the door, hit the door, holy sleds. And he's working it. And he puts the charge, he blasts. I'm like, I'm so fucking proud of this dude. And working that without I remember it's stupid to think of awards. I'm like, this is some Navy crush I'm watching. This is history. Proud of these dudes. Bam, it's open. Now we go. So I'm like 8 dudes back and we're at that stairwell. I saw it go down, but not as some people were closer to it. But it was where the point man whispered to Khalid. And I heard him
up the stairs.
Yeah, because she said you will run into Cleveland Laden, and he will be armed, and he will be his last line of defense. And she was supposed to be the woman that found Bin Laden. I think it's a chick earlier. Sorry about that. She said, you will run into Cleveland Laden. He's like 20 years old. He's his last line of defense. And if you want a shot, if you can ace him, you'll get a shot at the big guy. Was the way she told us. So
it's an interesting way to
describe it. At this point, he says he's 8 guys back.
I'm looking and normally in an urban environment, I'm like 7 dudes, 8 dudes in front of me. I'm gonna back up. Because I'm gonna back up. But I'm like, we're gonna fucking die anyway. I gotta see what they do. Because we're very good at being quiet. None of that yelling shit. None of the clear.
Yeah, and so that's what I meant. Like, so, and I don't think people understand how surgical those elements can be.
He says they're very good at being quiet, but the way he tells a story, there's a lot of radio chatter.
Yeah, well, it does. It goes in phases.
There's no yelling. There's no running unless you need to. It's body language. Yeah, like you can tell that person is going this way because they're oriented, and also you know who your friends are through the way their shadows move.
I can't get people to understand. You can tell they are by the way they walk.
Oh, 100% from a distance. Yeah, or the way they carry their gun, or the way that they are. It's that Yeah.
And at that level too, that's another thing. The CQB at the SEAL Team 6 level is just different. When I never explained to anyone there was 2 trains up the stairs.
Was it wide enough for it?
There was.
All right, here we go. Just get into his suit to the 2 trains.
No, so we on the second floor, the point man said, I think he said, come here in 2 different languages.
Yeah.
And Khalid got confused and boom, he blasted him. And I did step over Khalid.
Yeah.
And so we get over and I was like, that's the coolest thing I've ever seen. I wouldn't have thought of that. I would have tried to pin the bottom or something or give him a fake and gone high. I don't know.
Yeah.
But he killed him. It was awesome. And then we get to the second floor and that's when dudes split up. So
so does the staircase continue?
Staircase goes kind of up, straight. So because when I'm back here, point man goes here, shoots, everyone splits, and then I've been asked, why didn't he follow his shots? Well, because that's another level. That's the third floor, and he's by himself. And if you take a shot and follow it,
all right, let's stop here because he's about to go to the third floor, and I just want to point out a few things. He's just saying he's saying they're clearing fast. He already mentioned that. Not necessarily hostage rescue speed. He said they'll pie off real quick and go in. His words. This is just important to build this. They didn't get spread out yet because they couldn't get out of the first floor. Usually if you could get right to the second floor, that initial team kind of can push up while the first team is clearing the first floor. But there was no separation because there was a door problem that they had to solve. So when they move up to the second floor, which is a little unusual, but I'm not saying like it's not true. It's unusual that you get to move up to the whole floor with everybody because normally some separation starts.
Yeah.
But that doesn't happen here because of the door. So all 22 assaulters move to the second floor together. So what he says, now we're going to go to what he says and the truth. We got to live in these two different worlds. What he says is everyone starts clearing, and it takes them so long to clear that they have to go, and there's no one else. There's no one else coming up. Well, I said there's 22 people on the mission. I might be off by one, but I think it's 22. There are two of them, so that means there's 20 guys inside that house. There's more than enough guys to clear the second floor and go up to the third floor at the same time.
Yeah.
So that's just according to his story. But the true story is everyone knew that Osama was on the third floor, and when they hit Khalid on the second floor, and they started feeling when they saw the door that was barricaded going up, they started realizing this is it. Like this is actually, we hoped this was it, but once they get to clearing, they know. They're like, this is it. So what really happened was a guy was pulling security on the second floor, and everybody ran to the third floor because they were trying to be the guy. Like they were trying to get to Osama as fast as possible. So but even if you take his story to be true, it still doesn't make sense because he'd have had so many assaulters with this story of I'm waiting, I want one, I want two, we want more, we see people, we want to go. You wouldn't have been waiting. There would have been people right there with you. And that's just, again, picking apart your lie. The truth is everybody beelined it to the third floor, but let's keep going.
Yeah.
I mean, you can, but I'd wait. I'd give it a pause.
Unless there was an incredibly compelling reason to do so.
Taking a shot at what you think you see behind a curtain and it moves is not a compelling reason to do one-man entry on a third floor.
I would agree, especially if you were to trigger something that could have consequences for everybody else.
Because plus, if he goes up there, gets hit, now we got a wounded man. We're not up there.
So he wraps and he's holding now on the third.
It wasn't
deck.
a wrap; it was more turn on to it. It said here, and he shoots, and then I'm behind him. I came up as two men.
And at this point, the second deck is being cleared,
and there's offices. I remember I don't think I ever made entry later. I came back down. I didn't go to the left. I went to the right. Later.
Yeah.
But now we're down to two. And
where's the other train? What did you mean by that? So
they're clearing.
Okay, so the train, the majority of the bodies are sweeping through the second deck.
They're just going to clear the second, then we're going to make entry. But he took a shot, and he could see movement. There was a curtain there, and it almost looked like a military blanket, a green blanket, but a shower curtain. And that's what we could sort of see backlit. I don't know how it was backlit, but he could see people moving.
But did it just open to a large room?
I kind of went to the bedroom off to the side when we went up and in. And he was just saying he didn't know it was me, but he knew it was this guy. Because
I've covered this before, but I'll cover it for you guys if you guys didn't watch the episode that I did with my last podcast. I've talked to guys that were there. This mythical curtain that's separating the stairwell from the rest of the third floor. Hey, let me tell you, I've seen some weird things overseas, but I'm just telling you, I've never seen a curtain at the top of a stairwell. That's just a really weird place to put a curtain. Okay. And so it was so odd. It made me want to ask those guys, and they're like, no, there was no curtain. So, but now we have to live in his lie. And he even kind of tells himself a little bit. if there is a curtain that's a blanket, like a blanket that's being used for a curtain, and they launch on a low loom night, and none of the lights are on in the house, and they've said it was a completely dark night, how do you see bodies moving behind a blanket? And he even said, he goes, it was backlit. I don't know how. Well, yeah, you don't know how because it wasn't. Again, now we're living in a pretender world. One, the curtain wasn't there. Two, if the curtain was there, you couldn't see behind it, or else it'd be a really bad curtain.
Right.
And so he says he sees movement, and the point man Red takes a shot. If you can't see behind a curtain, what are you taking a shot at?
Right.
Let me tell you, if a tier 1 operator takes a shot, he hits. He hits. Let me tell you. So this is just something else but he needs it for the narrative. He needs it for a narrative to explain why Red took a shot, why they needed to go up right now because they couldn't see it. It's just, and again, it's just needless information that actually works against them and not for them.
Well, for my 2 cents as just a guy listening this is very different than listening to Matt Bissonnette on Sean Ryan. When you listen to Matt talk, it's step by step. It's very clear. It's detailed. You can almost envision yourself being there when he tells the story. It's so clear. I can barely follow this guy. He talks about now there's only 2 of us. But it's entertaining. And, now there's only 2 of us. 2 of who? And then he uses a lot of, and he did this, and I saw him, and you don't know. I can't follow this guy's story very well. Maybe I'm just stupid. I mean, that's also happens too. But when I listen to Matt tell his story, I can envision it. But with this, it's so all over the place. Because Matt tells the truth. And when you tell the truth and you tell the truth step by step, it all makes sense. Yep. The things he talks about doesn't make sense. Now, he tells it in an entertaining way. I'll give him that. Yeah. But for tracking a story, it is difficult. Yep. Let's keep going.
Him positive, whatever. And I'm not guiding him. He knows what we're doing. I've been to war with this guy a lot. He'd already shot. I'm here. And he's like, we got to go. And I'm like, all right. And I can see it right now. And on my part, it definitely was not bravery. It was, this is where we run in. He's going to blow himself up. Okay. And I'm going to feel, it's like I might survive this. I'm going to feel it. I'm tired of thinking about it though. Let's fucking do this. Right. So we did that. And he goes up the stairs and he moved it. And the girls are right there. His daughters. And they're suicide bombers. Got to be, right? So he moved them. There's Bin Laden standing there. Amal's right in front of him.
How much time did you guys have up there with just the 2 of you?
Seconds, if that. Because as we enter, I shoot him. It was enough time to see his tongue come out, and his head was fucked up. And I saw his son, Hussein, 2. And the humanity of it came through. It's like, this kid has nothing to do with this.
Yeah.
Move him back, and I turn, and they're here.
Okay.
So they turn.
He skipped the wife part.
Hold on, and that's okay. I won't. It's a small detail. I don't expect him to tell it word for word.
Neither do I.
Yeah, but he just said it takes the other team seconds to come in. Now, I think it's my opinion. I think he omits this for a reason, but he doesn't go into detail the way he did in other ones where he's already shot him in the head 3 times. This is important. We're getting to it. Keep going. He's already shot him in the head 3 times. He says he's moved the wife to the bed already, and within a matter of seconds, the other team is already in here. Keep going.
And now it's 2 trains. And this is not chaos, but this is now an extremely dynamic room. 2 trains have entered, and it got to the point because one of the most dangerous things in CQB, ship takedowns, parallel trains.
Yeah.
And then you can clear back, but if you clear forward, we're doing everything. This is in training. We're doing everything from chem lights under the door to you knock because it's a safe word. And it came down to, all right, don't worry about pointing your gun at someone, even if you're on fire. The new rule, don't shoot someone who looks like you. So
that's a super good rule.
But it's so simple.
Again, it's a great story, but you're telling me that SEAL Team 6 had to have a come to Jesus and be like, hey, we have to stop shooting each other. I think they're really good at knowing who to shoot and who not to shoot.
Yeah, they're the guys with nods on their head.
Right. But
they look a lot different than everybody else.
So Rob, you can't have it both ways. You're either the best in the world or you didn't deserve to be on the mission. Well, you guys did deserve to be on the mission because you guys are the best in the world, along with Delta Force. And now you're having to tell. I've never had to look at another Delta Force operator and be like, hey, just so you know, don't shoot the guys that look like you. Yeah. It's just insane. Keep going. He doesn't understand what he's doing to his teammates. He doesn't.
Yeah. Civilians will eat this up, but guys who know.
Instead of the barrel waving the clip, just don't shoot him. Like, oh, my bad.
Don't shoot the person that looks like a spaceman.
But now, so I just killed Bin Laden
Andy
right here.
gets it.
Yeah.
Moved a Mall who'd been hit here. The other train comes in. Now guys are shooting Bin Laden. I need to go get a picture. I pour water on his face. Someone point blank shoots him in front of me. And I go, what the fuck was that?
This is important.
We got to identify this.
Guys, and he says, what the fuck is that? We have to identify this guy, okay? This may be one of the most pivotal things this whole time, and I'm so glad you guys stuck around for how important this is, okay?
Now I ask people.
Hold on,
I've
Drew.
never told that story.
I got a lot to talk about real quick.
My bad, brother.
Yeah, no, you're good. You're good. Bring it to me. Thank you. So now he says other people came in the room and shot, and he is now like pouring water on his face because they want to identify him. And now he says
He's
guy
getting a camera.
just there's people are getting cameras. It's dark, so it means you have to white light it to see what's going on. He's trying to pour his face. This is absolutely crazy, and let me tell you guys why. And again, I don't be high and mighty, but if you've never done the job, like, you don't know how ridiculous this statement is. And once I explain it to you, you can be like, oh my gosh, he's absolutely right. This isn't the last room of the house. This is not the last room in the house. There's more rooms in this house, and he's the first, according to him, he's the first ones up in this room. He shoots someone, and then he starts going into PID. He starts going into essentially SSE, as we call it. No, you don't. You don't start pouring water on faces. You don't start getting out the cameras until that target is secure. When it's secure, you come back and do that. And I know it's not secure yet because according to him, people are still coming in ready to shoot, which means they're still clearing.
Right.
Rob, and everyone who just heard this knows better. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You did. The 82nd wouldn't do that. A regular SEAL team wouldn't do that. An ODA wouldn't do that. The Delta Force has never done that. And SEAL Team 6, sure as hell, has never stopped in the middle of clearing to start trying to PID people. It's absolutely insanity. And he thinks that his story will be believable by other people because they don't know better. But absolutely they know better. And here's what's even more important. So now you're basically saying SEAL Team 6 doesn't know when to clear and when not to clear. And the other thing he's literally pouring water on his face. And another Tier 1 operator came in and blasted him in the face with another clearly American person kneeling over him.
You just made your brothers in arms sound like idiots.
Absolute idiots. And if that really happened, I would be upset. But remember when I said, hey, put a pin in that. They picked their most senior people to come on this.
Yeah.
If that were to happen, that's something a very junior person does. There's no junior people on this. They know exactly when to keep clearing. They know exactly when to start taking pictures. They know exactly when they can shoot someone and when they shouldn't, when there's a teammate literally right beside him pouring water on his face.
Yeah.
Would never happen.
No.
Would absolutely never. And because it didn't happen, but this is him trying to continue to say, this is why the debrief wasn't honest. This is why we had to lie during the debrief.
If this was the true story, I can see why they'd have to lie. but it's not how it goes.
Well, lie. They would have to lie of sorts, but lie through omission.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. There is nothing. This story is so clean if you just don't even include that part. And by the way, they didn't include the guy who made this shot. Again, only him and Red made up this new miraculous story. So no one else even knows to tell this story.
Right.
It's absolutely asinine.
Yeah.
And he thinks he's slowly working his way out of it. And what he's doing is actually burying himself. Thank you so much, Andy, for letting him talk and letting him come on.
Yeah.
That's absolutely ridiculous. In fact, let's compare it real quick. Let's go over to so that's how it didn't happen. And I know that's not how it happened because that's not how targets go. When I hear a story and I'm like, yep, that's how targets go, it's easy. Let's go to the next video. And in contrast to the next video, yes. No. Yep, that one.
The stairs, is there a lot of action? How's it unfolding?
So this is Matt Bissonnette talking
like
about the raid.
Movies make it out to be, loud and crazy and everybody's yelling.
He says.
This is what we do. We're really good at it. And so it's quiet, calm, like we've done it a million times before. We have a saying, don't run to your death.
Fast forward just a little
nice
bit.
And slow, and upstairs.
Khalid is dead on this landing. The point man is stepping past Khalid, and now you're number 2 in stack. You're right behind the point man.
Yep. Okay. Kind of trying to look around him, hear him take a couple shots, kind of see ahead, somebody disappear back into the room.
The point man had seen some.
So and again, just to show you guys a contrast, Matt Bissonnette was also on the mission. Matt Bissonnette did you hear him mention a curtain? Nope. He said someone pokes his head out of a room. Could you see someone poking their head out of a room if a curtain was there?
No. Not unless they're poking their head out of the curtain.
Out of the curtain, but no, he's poking his head out of the room. Yeah. He says the point man takes a shot. Let's keep going.
Stick his head out a door and shot him just the way he'd shot Khalid.
Yep.
What did you do then?
Okay, and shot him just the way he shot Khalid. So let's see if this makes sense. The guy who just shot Khalid, who clearly can make shots and is a tier 1 operator, now the next time he sees someone, he takes a shot and he hits him again. You think that's a little more believable as well?
Yeah.
All right. It checks out to me. Let's keep going.
The room, I could see a body laying on the ground. Over him was 2 females, real close to the door. They looked up and saw the point man. He steps in to the room, literally rushes the 2 women, grabs one under each arm and pushes them back against the floor wall. So if they did have a suicide vest on and they did blow themselves up, that wouldn't affect the rest of the guys.
But it would have killed him.
Yeah.
You stepped into the room and saw the man lying on the floor. What did you do?
As the 2-man.
Myself and the next assaulter in.
And the 3-man.
We both engaged him several more times and then rolled off and then continued clearing the room.
When you say you engaged him, what do you mean?
He just said what again sounds normal, because I said what would normally happen in the 2 and the 3. You would have plenty of assaulters. Even in the made up story, you'd have plenty of assaulters. But in the truth, that they all ran to the 3rd floor, that you'd have plenty of assaulters. Red takes the shot. Red goes in. Matt Bissonnette goes in. He says a 3rd guy goes in. He's not talking about 2 different trains. He's talking about people following each other in.
Yep.
By the way, just the way Amal bin Laden also said it happened.
Right.
And he says, we took shots and then we all left the room. You know why they left the room?
Building wasn't clear
because
yet.
the building wasn't clear. So that story makes sense to me because that's how it happens. But again, in Rob's story, he takes a shot and he just stops what he's doing and whips out cameras and water bottles. while other people are still clearing.
But he might be telling a story like a squirrel, and he's just skipping all that other stuff and then jumping to that. But why would people shoot?
Exactly. Why would people shoot? It gets better. Keep going.
Fired.
You shot him.
Yeah.
He's still moving.
A little bit, but you couldn't see his arms, couldn't see his hands. So he could have had something, could have had a hand grenade or something underneath his chest.
So after Osama bin Laden is wounded, he's still moving. You shot him twice?
A handful of times.
A handful of times, and the SEAL in the stack behind you also shot Osama bin Laden, and at that point his body was still.
Yes.
Did you recognize him?
No.
What?
You know, everybody thinks it was like,
hold on.
You know it's him.
Drew.
Yo.
What did he just say? Did you recognize him? He goes, no.
Yeah.
And I've said that before. So Rob does recognize him and wants to get ahead of the PID and the SSE process. Again, which isn't true. Matt Bissonnette says in his story, we shot him, we rolled out because we had to keep clearing, which is exactly how it happens. And then he goes, did you recognize him? He goes, no, didn't recognize him.
Because he's probably moving fast.
Because he's just people under night vision at night,
right,
on the ground, already been shot in the head. You won't know who that guy is until the structure is cleared and you bring out the white lights and you really start trying to figure it out.
Right.
You don't know who it is when they're on the ground under night vision. You can't tell a guy is 6'6", 4", however tall he was tall, but when you're curled up on the ground, shot in the head, you don't know. You don't know these things. So
when you're looking through night vision, what color is people's beards?
Well, you can tell if it's a black beard and you can tell if it's a gray beard.
Okay.
And again, Matt Bissonnette knows that it's a black beard. He talks about it on the Sean Ryan show. Okay. So anyway, I wanted to show a contrast over someone who tells the truth. And when I hear that story, everything about that story, I go, yes, that's how it happens. Yes, that's how it happens.
Yeah.
You don't see me stopping every 3 seconds and saying, that's not how it happens. That's not how it happens.
Right.
Everything Matt Bissonnette said is how it happens. Let's go back to Rob and see how he finishes off his story.
And there's a little bit more that I will save for the Bible on the stand. If that happens in front of you, are you going to debrief that? Guys come in there blasting bin Laden, one guy fucking shoots him in the face in front of me. I'm not telling that story. We need to make this work.
Yeah,
this is
and I already said it.
This is a bad situation.
Then you just, if that happened, you just omit it. But I've already proved that why that could not or would not.
That's not how Tier 1 operators operate.
So it would not have happened. Keep going.
Even breadcrumbs for this for 10 years now.
It's a tough question, man. I'll be honest with you. I lean towards telling the truth.
That is the truth.
No, that's what I mean in the debrief, though, too.
Don't get so
because
defensive.
The reality
is,
at the time, it didn't matter. We're going to be best friends forever, and no one needs to know this happened.
It's still a lie, though.
No, I didn't tell it either.
Hold on.
There's also a lie.
You didn't tell it? So only you and Red know the story because only you two went and talked about this. So Red told the whole lie, and now you're blaming this, and now you're saying, of course, he's about to get to it and be like, well, it's something called omission by lying. But not only did the guy who killed Khalid killed Osama bin Laden in real life, he's now, not only are you saying he missed shots, now you're saying that he's a liar because it has to be Red telling the story because you're like, well, I didn't tell it. Well, then who told it? Well, it could only be the only other guy that he talked to, which is Red. So I don't know how Red can stay quiet. Patience of Job. Patience of Job. Like, it's insane. And you know what's crazy? Remember when he said that he doesn't like tattletales? I was like, remember that. What would you call someone who decides to, in secret, make up a story and like, this is the story we're going with, and this is a story that we're going to stick with because we're all best friends. and then you go on a podcast years later for what'll probably be millions to see, and then reveal all of this. If it were true, would you consider that guy a tattletale?
Yep.
Rob hates tattletales, and here he is tattletaling that
in his own story.
He's tattletaling his own.
He's the tattletale in his own fabricated story.
That's the irony. That's the crazy. He's making up. He's being a tattletale in a made up fabricated story.
Yeah,
it's you.
In one of the videos, he said that he shot Bin Laden 3 times in the face.
And you know, I'm glad you brought that up. Remember when he was like, "What?" And I hate to. What the f? We have to ID this guy. Rob, according to your story, you just shot him in the face 3 times. Yeah. This guy shot him in the face, and he wasn't mad that he took the shot and he was so close to him, or else what he should have said was, "Hey, I'm right here.
Right.
What are you doing?"
That wasn't what he implied.
And if that really happened, that's exactly what he would have said. Yes. But he says, "We have to PID this guy." Rob, you just shot him in the face 3 times, according to your story.
Yeah, exactly.
And 2 was while he was standing up. And the 3rd one, according to your story, was while he was on the ground. That's an extra one.
Yeah.
You weren't worried about PID then. But of course, now we're arguing about a story that never happened.
Got us, Rob.
We're living. It makes me feel crazy. I got to live in this lie, that lie, and the truth, and then argue between all 3.
Yeah.
Let's keep going.
Omission.
Whatever. It's a debrief. I didn't tell that part of the debrief. This is the truth.
I understand that. What I'm saying is you knew that what was being...
I don't understand. What does he mean by that's not part of the debrief and this is the truth?
Because I didn't tell that part of the debrief and this is the truth. He's basically saying, I didn't lie. Yeah, I came up with the lie with this other guy, which is crazy. He's like, I didn't lie. Well, you already said that you came up with this lie with the other guy. And now he's saying, I'm not the liar. I helped make the lie, but I didn't tell the lie during the debrief. Okay. Which again, here we are arguing over something that never happened.
And the debrief wasn't the truth. And I'm not trying to assess blame. That's not what I'm trying to do. But you asked, what would I do in that situation? Mm-hmm. And again, this is a hypothetical, right? Fucking easy for me because we're sitting in Kalispell, Montana, and I don't have the pressure. You understand literally the global optic that is going to come from this. So I understand.
No, you know what's crazy is not really the global optic. I mean, obviously.
Eventually, you realize this is going to be global news. Let's put it that way.
So what's crazy is, again,
being in that.
He's telling everyone that he convinced a whole group of Navy SEALs to lie. Or he convinced one other one, and all of them went with this. You know what's kind of crazy about that? Andy Stumpf was in SEAL Team 6. And when he tells this story to just one other SEAL Team 6 member and goes, well, what would you do? What does the other SEAL Team 6 member say? I'd have told the truth.
Yeah.
I'd have told the truth. So in your fictional story, you have the whole troop willing to either lie verbally or lie by omission. But when it comes to the real world and having another SEAL Team 6 member across from you, you can't even convince that guy that lying is a good idea.
Yeah.
Let that sink in for a second.
Again, he puts a bad light on his teammates on that night.
Sure does.
Like everyone's special.
Yeah.
So don't really take credit. Yeah, not credit, but you don't appreciate how special. Like we were surprised as shit when we got back to the Seabees place and on Yahoo, you see SEAL Team 6 kills Osama bin Laden. That was surprising.
Yeah.
Would I do that differently now? Fuck yeah. I would do it differently. If I could go back and do the debrief differently, you're goddamn right I would. And if you want this on tape, fine. But again, I wasn't talking.
It's okay. He wasn't talking.
But
he came up with the lie.
The argument that I was foreman. I hope they play the debrief.
Yeah.
That blows me being the foreman completely out of the water.
Oh, I don't know if he's saying you weren't the one talking. Gives you the cover.
I'm not trying to get covered. I'm not trying to get covered. And I'm not saying this top cover should have. I was going to take that to my grave.
All over Andy.
This doesn't matter. This team got him.
So going back to your question, though, I want to believe that I would have told the truth to include the guy walking up point blank, because here's the reality. He shouldn't have done that in the first place.
Fuck no, he shouldn't.
And I understand.
But also, I shouldn't be
understand
getting
exactly
blamed for being the guy that did it.
I agree with you.
I'm a lot taller than the guy that did it.
Oh, now he's Tattletale.
We're talking about you can tell people who are there by the shadows in their walk. You know goddamn well I did not canoe bin Laden.
Yeah.
Hold on. You know that I didn't canoe bin Laden. That's absolutely goes against your whole story.
Yeah.
You're saying your book was the truth. You're saying every podcast you did was the truth. You're upset that I said what you are saying happened never happened. And one of the things I said never happened was you and you alone took out Osama bin Laden, and you alone didn't shoot him in the head 3 times. And now he's saying, and canoeing is shooting someone in the head.
Yeah.
And he may not consider the first 2 shots as kill shots as canoeing, but canoeing is usually referred to as taking an unnecessary shot into a dead body in the face.
Okay.
The 3rd shot, when he was dead and on the ground after taking 2 rounds, you absolutely canoed him. You sent 3 rounds to his face, and now he's saying, I didn't canoe the guy. You've been saying that you canoed the guy 3 times since the book.
Right, because his wife is supposed to be standing in front of him, and that's the only shot that he had.
It gets better. I'm telling you, I'm going to have to send Andy the biggest Christmas present in the world.
I understand why not only somebody would do that, but also shoot his dead body after 20 years of sustained combat.
To be fair there too, I don't have a problem with that. I just need to identify him. What I have a problem with is someone doing it and then years later they say, that's what I did, try and take credit for it. That is not the case. I'm a fucking team leader. I just watched a guy who's not a team leader miss the shot of his life. I'm not going to put that in a debrief either.
Why?
But why does that need to be historic when no one knows what happened in the room and no one's going to say
AR should never be released.
Right? Fair enough.
It should have never been released, so why not tell the truth?
And the AR hasn't been released.
I wish I would have. No, I mean this wasn't.
What do you? So let's say let's spin this out because I'm just curious.
Get it, Andy.
What do you think the reaction would have been from the military if in the debrief you had said, then yeah, this guy came up point blank when we were getting ready to take a picture, shot him in the face multiple times, and multiple team members shot bin Laden dead on the ground, which I'm going to be honest too, I don't have a problem with.
I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
Hold on. You don't have a problem with it. You had such a problem with it that you said, what the F? We have to PID this guy.
Right.
And now you're saying, well, I don't really have a problem with it. And again, it just, I have to go, I won't go back to the whole thing, but that it never happened. People weren't still clearing when you decided to start doing PID on a guy. It's the insanity of it. If any tier 1 guy, it doesn't have to be a tier 1 guy. Let me step back. If anyone, SWAT guy, anyone that's ever has any tactical knowledge and experience heard this story, they'd be like, that's weird. It's not what tier 1, and it's not what the best of the best do. The best of the best don't screw that up because no one in this business screws that up.
Right.
It's so bizarre that in his mind, he thought about all this. He calculated this before going into the interview, and he was like, yeah, this is going to work.
Lying gets you caught in your own snares.
Worth for murder at war, I'm not taking that chance with my best friends. I'm not taking a chance. Plus, no one's ever going to fucking know as long as we keep the story straight, which we did not.
At the JSOC level?
You don't, well,
don't you think we should be better than that?
You didn't keep the story straight?
I also don't think we should have fucking tattletales at a JSOC level.
You haven't kept the story straight in this one
you don't have
interview.
to worry about tattletales if you tell the truth.
But you're being a tattletale right now, Rob.
Fair enough, fine. But in a debrief like that, you've never told the commanding officer on the record exactly what went down. That's it.
For clarity, I've never done a debrief like this where the commanding officer gave a shit. There's this level of operation you were on, and then under the table.
This entire team knows exactly what happened. There was no question. Yeah. When they hit record.
Wait, the entire team knows exactly what happened? I thought they didn't.
Oh,
they
you
don't
got
know
me
what
on that
they
one, Drew.
saw.
Hold on, Drew. You got me on that one. Nice. The youth pastor gets one.
Oh my goodness.
There was no question. When we were all standing around bin Laden's body with Admiral McRaven there and 01 there and everyone there, the guy that cleared the garden there was no question. And then we recorded a debrief like we do.
Andy's having a hard time digesting all this.
It's impossible.
Today's episode is brought to you by David,
that much
the industry
information.
leader in protein bars. There's two different type of bars I'm going to talk about today.
Andy's
First,
getting
there
a
is the
free ad
gold,
there.
which is actually in this gold wrapping. I have these in the studio. These are my
just fast
go-to
forward
right
it.
after jiu-jitsu in between.
No. Yeah, we can do it that way.
The biggest problem is...
Well, there's no problem. I'm telling you what happened.
No. I'm
I'm
not.
so defensive
I'm
now.
not saying a problem with you. What this can be construed as is that we lied before, but now I need you to believe us because we're telling the truth.
There it is.
And I don't. And that leads into the bigger question.
No. It's. I've told the same story every time.
I'm not talking about your particular story.
Pause real quick. I'll tell you, like the guy just always is so defensive. He's like, no. I've never lied. I told the same story the whole time. No. He's not talking about that, Rob. He's talking about what he's been talking about this whole time is lying on the debrief. But he's so, I say it all the time. It's like when your kid gets so defensive about something. When my little boy gets really, really defensive about something, I already know he did it.
Right.
I already know he did it.
Language.
He's so defensive. Keep going.
I'm not talking about your particular story. Again, I'm talking about the legitimacy of the debrief, which is what things like McRaven is going to make his decisions based off of, or information. You know what I mean? Like, fuck, man.
Well, you know, this story is at in the Navy SEAL Museum in San Diego. It's a display. This exact story, and it was actually cool because McRaven's voice. He
real quick. We've gone through the rest of it. I really want to go through the third floor on it. This is what we're gonna do. I got. In fact, we'll end it on this video real quick. We'll take a quick break, and then we'll take super chats, and we'll really talk this thing out with the with the viewers. I know you guys have been waiting patiently, and we will get to them. Drew, let's go back to the videos. As much as we've bashed Rob O'Neill, I don't want to say bash. I don't think that's the right word. As much as we've critiqued Rob O'Neill, you know what, he's gotten better. He's actually gotten a lot better with his lie, because this was him when he wasn't so polished. Let's see how he used to handle this.
Stories. If they're doing good work for people and no one's in danger, then they should be able to write books, I think.
It's also been written that it was the point man who shot him first.
I don't know if the point man didn't shoot when I was there, and when I got there. I can tell you what I saw. When we went up the stairs, the point man jumped onto. They did say he took a shot up the stairs. When I saw Bin Laden, he was not hit, and he was standing on 2 feet. And so I got to assume I shot him the first 2-3 times.
I have to assume I shot him.
Hold on.
That is weird language.
Hold on. Give me a second. I could do this for days.
I have to assume I shot him.
That's just the best one. What did he just say right there? He goes, he didn't shoot him. He didn't take a shot while I was there. Didn't he just say that?
Yeah.
Didn't he just say years later that he took a shot because there were people moving behind what was a mythical curtain? Didn't he just say that?
Yes.
He was certain that Red took a shot, that the point man took a shot.
Yeah.
What he just said in this interview, I know, and I have to rehash it because you may not have caught it between all the bumblings and the ums and the and the ooh and maybes.
Yeah.
I mean, that was I've never seen a guy so unprepared for a question in his life. He said he didn't take a shot while I was there, and then I heard he took a shot. And if people wonder why there are people out there like, well, he tells a different story, and there's other people like, oh, he tells the same story all the time. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. You don't forget if the guy in front of you took a shot.
Yeah.
But here's what's worse. This was years ago when the mission was fresh on his mind.
Right.
He says, no, he didn't take a shot while I was there. And then 10 years later, he knows for a fact that he took a shot while he was there. It's just crazy. I could watch that clip over and over. It makes me laugh every time. All right. Let's take a quick break, and then let's get to the super chats. Something tells me you guys have some really good questions and insights that maybe we missed.
We are more than makers of steel. We are brothers in craft, bound by purpose and forged in pride. Every blade we shape carries the weight of the hands that built it and the hearts that will wield it. Brotherhood Blade stands for those who refuse to quit. The protectors, the workers, the doers. We forge with integrity, we carry with pride, and we stand shoulder to shoulder with those who live by the same code. Brotherhood Blades, forged in freedom, carried with honor.
If you've ever been to any of my tactical training classes, then you know how adamant I am about the use of white light and the importance of a quality, high-powered, tactical light. That's why I use cloud defensive tac lights. You can't hit what you can't see, and neither can the bad guys. Clearly identify your target and simultaneously overwhelm his vision with hundreds and even thousands of lumens. Get serious about defending yourself and your family. Go to clouddefensive.com and use promo code Tier1 to get 30% off your order. That's right, 30%. You won't find a better light than this, and you won't find a better deal than this.
Revenge is an act of passion. Vengeance is an act of justice. Injuries are revenged. Crimes are avenged. Almost a century ago, big pharmaceutical companies re-engineered medical school curriculum and faculty with one goal: putting profit before progress. Anyone pushing back against the medical matrix they carefully crafted was threatened, silenced, censored, financially ruined, or worse. They are the problem. We are the solution.
You're clear to engage. Initials Mike Juliet Alpha. You're clear to engage with weapons. You're clear to engage with weapons.
And we're back.
All right, we are back. Let's get the super chats. Something tells me the super chat's going to be especially good tonight.
All right, Right Wing Nut says, Brent, Drew, y'all are the best. Grateful for y'all. Grateful for you, brother. Thank you for the love. Niels Locum, can we call flashbangs Minnesotan hand warmers? Glaucoma says, why now? What would make him admit it now? The timing of Rob exposing his own lie, especially when it hurts his suit and his reputation. That's a good question.
Absolutely.
David Hookstead and the host.
Oh, David.
Brent, stop drinking Michelob and start drinking Coors Banquet or Miller Lite.
You know what? You know what I love? I've been watching Landman. It's been an awesome series to watch. I don't know how much Mick Ultra paid to get their product in there, but everybody's drinking Mick Ultra in that. So maybe if you watch some Landman, it'll make Mick Ultra look cooler to you.
Chipperton says, anyone else notice when something is off about someone, like how Rob wore a cross on this interview when I have never seen him wear a cross? People pick up on these things subconsciously. Still a hero. All right, the Prussian, to reiterate my super chat on the first go round, because we were canceled because of the intro video. Thank you, YouTube. Yeah. Add this to my donation to Rob's MH therapy. Also now $110 for Night Stalkers by Megadeth for the end song. Yeah, he gave in the last chat.
Okay, how much for Night Stalkers?
$110 for Night Stalkers by Megadeth. If we have time, I got pictures of the old super chats. I'll try to get them. Conan the Librarian. Nice name. $50. That's all he wanted. He wanted us to know Conan the Librarian. I love it. Thank you for the love. Sergeant Will. Well, dang, Brent, you are so evil and vile towards Rob. Dial it up 10 times. Maybe he will feel it then. Holy Fook says, rescinding on New Live, what up with the knuckle tats? Real or temp? What's the story? Lose a bet?
No, I did not lose a bet.
Give us 2 fists at the video, at the camera, Brent. Gosh. They want to see him. There it is. Stay calm. We had to do that today.
That was a belated Christmas present from Devin.
They look cool.
I like them. She likes them.
All right, just another thank you for the gift, man. We really appreciate it. Holy Fook back in says, resending, you think Rob will take a lie detector? Are you willing to administer tactical questioning, a.k.a. interrogation, a.k.a. waterboarding to get the truth?
The guy went through buds. I don't think waterboarding's gonna do it.
No, he's still tough. Holy Fook, Drew, the island of, oh man, he's going to make me say that word again. Come on, Holy Fook. You know I don't know how to say that. Kauai, I don't know, in Hawaii is pronounced, there it is. He's already bringing it up. That's not helping me, Holy Fook. I'm sorry. Kauai, just saying.
Just send it and go.
All right, man. Joseph says, please, is there any way to bring Red and his teammates to speak in that interview? He never answered a single question, but instead gave unnecessary details to flood and distract your brain. Exactly, brother. You saw the same thing we did.
Yeah, I know. We're not the only ones that saw that.
My goodness. Cosplay, $50. Thank you for the love. Does this push Red to come out? Basically made him look bad here.
I'm telling you, if this doesn't encourage his teammates to like, I mean, when is enough enough? It's one thing for them to be like, well, he lied about it, but that's Rob, that's his life. I don't want to get involved. I get that. Like I get that. But at one point now he's making you look bad, and he's making the whole troop that went look like liars. He's making the whole troop that went look like people who don't know what they're doing, and they just stop in the middle of an op and start doing SSE and when it's not clear. And now he's saying guys will just run into rooms and shoot and take headshots when someone's trying to pour water on them.
And they don't know what they're seeing.
And they don't know what they're seeing.
And they don't know what they're seeing.
Guys, if that doesn't motivate you to say enough's enough, I don't know what will.
I know this is irrelevant because Red is smart enough to stay out of the whole thing and be a silent professional. So he's probably smart enough not even to watch this stuff. So good on you, Red. But if you're out there, Red, we invite you, contact us, and we will we'll blur out your whole body and your voice, man. We'll do the whole thing.
I hate this. I do. And as much as he's like, well, you don't have to subpoena everyone because they didn't see anything and they didn't see what they thought they saw. Red, other guys, this isn't me doing this. We are going to subpoena you. We have to. We have to. I don't want to. We have to. And it's not me doing this. I didn't start the lawsuit. Rob did. So you could probably come out now and not get subpoenaed and that'll end the lawsuit, or you can wait and they're like, well, that's fine. I get it. Just wait till a judge tells me to do it, because then it'll be okay for them to say whatever they have to say, because it'll be under oath and in a court of law. And maybe they just rather it be that way so they're not judged by their peers. Yeah. And I get that, but it's happening one way or another, and you have Rob to thank for that.
The Intoxicated Emperor says, hey, Brent, I ship out to, what is that, OSUT, O-S-U-T?
Yep.
March 16 as an 11.
Nice.
X-ray option 4, and I just wanted to say you're a huge inspiration, and I can't wait to be an infantryman and get after it.
Heck yeah. Man, I love that. I absolutely love that. And guess what? Now is the time to join the military. The pendulum has swung. Things, the ship has righted, and you're going in at a good time.
Resending the super chat from the first one. Brent, thoughts on the directed energy weapons during the Maduro raid? Are you familiar with them? We know you can't say anything.
I'll say this. SEAL Team 6 didn't even know about the stealth Blackhawks until the night of the mission. I'm not aware of them. But I'll say this. I'll say two things. That anything could happen, but there's only one guy that talked about it, and something I don't know. I'm torn. There's a part of me that wants to second guess it, and there's another part of me that's like, yeah, we got cool stuff that I don't know about, that nobody knows about until it's time. I don't know.
Corbin Pettigrew says, wife just got me an FRCC shirt and a couple bags of coffee, and she did so at frcc.shop. Everything is great. Also, got to respect how Andy let Rob hang out to dry and question his blatant BS. Rob's dress whites got a brown back after this pod.
In fact, hey, we're real quick. I don't know if we can stop you right there. It'll be a good stop in the in this. Drew, can you go back to the Andy Stumpf podcast? It's a little impromptu. I don't really know what they say. Go to the episode. Scroll down. Let's just look at some comments. See if the American public is buying this. Let's just read a few. Andy out here with the patience of a school teacher. Andy's level of interview expertise is legendary. He makes people feel comfortable, comes off non-judgmental while also calling people on their shite and letting things slide that others would. Journalism should take note. Absolutely. I wish this interview was also available in decaf. I shot him in the face 3 times. Will gets it. Anyone else feel like Rob told you the sky was blue? You'd go to your window to verify. Oh man, I'd skip. Instead of lawsuit, Andy should have had Rob and Brent in the same to be the mediator. I'd do that all day long, but he won't. Rob won't. It just goes on, and I love it. The comments are either praising Andy, which he deserved, or doubting Rob's story. You're not going to find Rob defenders in there. And what's that? And guess what? Rob, he's narcissistic. He goes to the comment section. He reads it. He's been pretty quiet after this. Otherwise, he'd be taking victory laps over it. All right, I'm going to go on a guess, and this isn't being slanderous. This is just me trying to guess what's going to happen. I'm afraid, actually, of this. This is going to drive Rob back into drinking because between the comment section of that episode, he knows it went bad when he thought that he planned this out meticulously and nailed it, only to find out no one believes him. And then he's going to watch this episode, and then he's going to find out, crap, Brent really picked me apart on this, and now that's out. That there are 2 options, and he'll take one. One option would be to come clean, but Tim Kennedy had that same option, and Rob and Tim are in the same, cut from the same cloth, even though he tried to delineate the 2. They are. And since he won't come clean, which is really ironic because it's what he told Tim to do, what normally happens is when you're backed into a corner and you refuse to come clean, he'll end up going to some sort of rehab and then saying, "Hey, guys, I'm dealing with something right now," and just kind of use that to fall off the radar. That's what public figures do. Anytime a public figure messes up, what do? They go to rehab and they're like, "Hey, I was dealing with something." Yeah. And they fall off the radar for a little bit, and then they try to come back like nothing happened.
Well, the best way to get clean and stay clean is to come clean. So,
whoa, Drew, put that on a shirt. All right.
RNT says New York City can have NSRO. Montana is full. Don't come back. He's a tier 1 victim. There's no putting this genie back in the bottle.
No, you're right about that.
The toothpaste is out of the tube.
Yeah.
Jay Burke says, "Hey man, just wanted to say thank you for viewing my story on Insta. Hit me up sometime. Also, shout out to Vanessa. Hope you all had a dope time at SHOT Show. Stay lethal, brother. The boys got your backpack."
Oh, thank you.
Just another 11B says, shite wipes away all the attaboys.
That's true. It's true.
Good timber. Here's that money you made off of Rob, Went. Look at that.
You know what's funny?
That's funny.
I'm talking about all the money I've made off of Rob. Rob, one of your speaking engagements will double the money I make this year on this podcast.
Yeah, and for the record, 2 years straight is ridiculous. We've talked about Rob a couple of times, and he's the one who brought the story back out. And our content is full of way more things than Rob and Timmy.
I know. And it just, because it irritates me, and I hate telling people what irritates me, because once you let it out, they know how to get your goat. Again, the only time I've mentioned Rob was in rebuttal to him calling me names and trying to paint my former co-host bad light into mine.
Yeah.
But even back with my old podcast, we have 98% of our podcasts have to do with other vets and other first responders telling positive stories. No. I won't be remembered for tearing down vets.
No.
I just had a 31-year veteran HSI special agent who is a Gold Star father who lost his son in the Marine Corps' deadliest maritime training accident on the podcast. I've had other Navy SEALs on the podcast. I've had Delta Force guys on the podcast. I've had Marine infantry guys on the podcast. I've had 11Bs on the podcast. That's what I'll be remembered for.
Yeah.
That's what I'll be remembered for, because that's what the majority of what I do. And I also might be remembered for holding vets accountable and being right every time and never dragging an innocent vet's name through the mud who didn't deserve it.
Mic drop. All right. That's right, Brent. 100%. Justin Carling says, Hulk Hogan, Real American Outsong. Brent, you're the tier 1 operator we need right now. Drew Loud, Marica. All right, that was $100. You got that for $100, man. Thank you very much for the love.
Thank you, guys.
Dubs War Room says, I never understood how, if Point Man shot bin Laden with his head out the door, how did he die 15 feet back in the room bleeding out in front of the bed?
Because Matt Bissonnette actually said that. He said when he got shot, he fell back into the room. And it wasn't 15 feet back. The whole, if you've ever, you can go to 60 Minutes and you can watch. And I'm not making fun of the question, by the way. I appreciate the question.
Yeah.
And if you have the truth, you should always want a question, because the truth isn't scared of questions. And you know that more than anyone. So go look at the 60-minute walkthrough. They take pictures of Osama bin Laden's bedroom. It's so small. It actually only has a queen size bed in it, and it has about 3 or 4 feet of room to walk around each side of it.
Yeah.
When he fell back after getting shot in the head, he fell back and fell at the foot of the bed. So I'm glad you asked that, and there is the reason why.
So the video is called Manhunt for Osama bin Laden. U.S. Navy SEAL who fired the fatal shot tells all. 60 Minutes.
Oh, no, that's a different one.
Oh, that's a different one?
That's the one that we watched. No,
Yeah.
60 Minute does a walkthrough, like a fairly short walkthrough of Osama bin Laden's compound.
Yeah, don't listen to me. Listen to Brent.
It's okay. You know what else is funny in that video? They do a walkthrough of his bathroom as well. And you know what you can see on the counter in his bathroom?
Beard coloring.
Just for men, beard coloring. So it's just ironic. Just another reason why we know that his beard was black and not gray.
All right, let's see. We got Crafted Tees. NC says, Brent, happy to make you a shirt that says defame this. LOL. Nice.
Hey,
Nice.
send us a DM over at Tier 1 Podcast on Instagram. Let's get that one going. I'll wear it the next live.
Let's see. B. Jordan says, ICE is forming a tier 1 team. Their words, thoughts?
Heck yeah. That's my thoughts.
B. Jordan back in. What makes for a great troop commander?
Knowing
Honesty.
Yeah. Knowing that you're the highest ranking guy there and that you probably know the least.
Mr. Nasty Time says, McRaven, quote, wanting to be upstairs over tactical amnesia, etc. Also, how there is a double stack that split off clear rooms and B and UBL's room if it took seconds. Shot during. Wild.
Everything about it's wild.
Everything's crazy.
Everything about it's wild.
You're right. Justin Carling says, Brent, I really hope you and Rob can work this out and he can come on the Tier 1 podcast and set the record straight.
I hope he saved my number when I gave it to him, even though he blocked me, which deleted all of the messages. He has my number. Please reach out to me, Rob. There's a chair right there for you. We can talk this out.
Well, Rob did reach out to us. He reached out through a lawyer and a $25 million lawsuit.
Right.
That's how he
you can reach out to me directly anytime, Rob.
That's how he wants to try to set the record straight. So,
although Rob never gave me his number, but I gave him mine.
RNT says, you build bridges for 20 years and they call you a bridge builder. You suck one.
Have you never heard that joke?
No, you build bridges for 20 years. They call you a bridge builder.
It's funny. That's what you wrote. 'Cause that was the first thing that came to my mind. So you build bridges for 20 years. They call you a bridge builder.
Yeah.
But,
okay. You suck
but
one.
if you
Okay, I
suck
get it.
one wiener,
Yeah. Okay, I got it now.
they don't remember you as a bridge builder, do they? That's what they remember you
that's
as.
What they remember you as.
Yeah.
100%. I love it. The Intoxicated Emperor. Pilot was Tim Kennedy doing the impossible. Joe Saunders, Yippee-ki-yay, says a most excellent live Tier 1 podcast. For the closing song, Send Lawyers, Guns, and Money by Warren Zevon.
I like that guy.
Cause when Rob speaks, I keep hearing that song. That's $15 for that one.
Okay.
Corey Doctor says, can't wait till he makes himself look stupid in court. Thank God guys like you and Biss make up our Tier 1 units and are on the side of the U.S.
Man, thank you. I do appreciate that. I do.
Get off my lawn, says no one stays behind to pull security on UBL's body or they all leave the room and continue to clear. He knows.
No. Well, he's saying no one stays behind to pull security on you.
He's questioning.
Right.
I'm sorry.
No, because just like Biss said, they don't know that it's UBL's body. They go in, they take quick shots, and they leave. You don't know who that dead man is on the floor until everything's clear, and then you come back and you inspect all the dead bodies.
Yeah. TJ says Slabinsky lied about Chapman. O'Neill or Biss is lying. Looks like SEALs lie. What's that?
You tell me what it is, Drew.
I don't know. Effing when it works.
For what it's worth.
For what it's worth. Okay. Feel bad for the guys who tried to do it right.
And guess what? Most of them did it right. Like 99.999% of them did it right.
Yeah. Let's see. Iceman says, early framing. I didn't want attention. My name was already out. I was protecting the team. Later framing. I regret giving top cover. The truth should have been told. This is about stopping malicious attacks, bro.
I know. I don't think that episode did what he thought it did.
Iceman back in again. He says, I also forgot to mention Rob O was saying that Red Squadron was jealous of him and that led to more morale being low. EX-17 happened right after NS. Like that wasn't the reason for low morale. All about him.
I have a question. It's an honest question. If you're the guy that killed UBL and you're Red Squadron's golden boy at this point, because you killed Osama
your life's going
bin
to
Laden.
change forever.
Your life's going to change. You're the man.
Yeah.
You're the man. Then tell me right after when you got back, why did they move you to Silver Squadron? Why would they move their all-star to another squadron?
They want to spread the talent.
They want to spread the talent? Okay. I've heard
to give somebody else in Red Squadron a chance to, be top dog.
I've heard other members give that reason, and trust me, that wasn't the reason they gave.
Okay. Brody Martin says, do you think his craziness is CTE, PTSD, or the magic mushrooms he took in Mexico? Like Tim Kennedy, Rob had a legit resume. It's embarrassing he threw it all away on these lies.
No. Unless CTE is short for selfish for some odd reason that I'm not aware of, then no. That's the only reason why I did it.
Neil Conway, he publicly told a story for money, and he is accountable for that money and honor. He represented a team, not himself alone, so public shame is valid.
Thank you, sir.
Especially when you take your story to a public level
Absolutely.
and fool a bunch of people.
Right.
At Six's mom, $100, man. Thank you for the love. Thanks for clarifying. I watched Andy's interview 3 times. You have to understand what's going on, and came away with 3 points. Number 1, he doesn't care who killed bin Laden. He reiterated.
Okay.
Number 2, his daughters are being trolled on the internet and are stressed and need to be proud of him. Number 3, SEAL Team 6 sucks. Aloha.
Unfortunately, those are valid takeaways of that, but SEAL Team 6 does not suck.
Yeah.
They're great Americans, I assure you. They're America's best, among America's best.
Yeah, somebody said in the chats earlier that you have guys like Luttrell and these others that haven't been honest. So the debriefing, it's expected for them to lie because they're all lying. No, those are the extreme exception to the rule. It's ridiculous.
Exactly.
Yeah. As Six's mom back in, he says, "Hey, add this to my $100. As I said in the chart of 45 minutes, song "Wish for We're Here" by Pink Floyd. Aloha from Kai. Kaiwaya. Dang it! All right, so that's $110 for Wish for We're Here.
Wish You Were Here, Pink Floyd.
That's it. Wish for You.
Love that song.
Pink Floyd. Sorry, Holy Fook. I'm just not going to get it. There's just some things. Kaya, please address the piss bottle allegations. There it is.
My eyes dart over to my phone every now and again, and I read comments when I can that aren't super chats, just to get a pulse of what the guys say. The amount of piss bottle comments was hilarious. I don't know. I've personally never had to do that, so I'm that again. Just another. Anytime it's an entertaining story, I just have to cast a little bit of doubt on that. Why wouldn't you just leave it on the helicopter? Why wouldn't you just throw it out in the middle of the mountain range that you're flying over in the middle of nowhere? I don't know. I'll tell you where I'm not keeping it, in my pant leg.
Yeah.
The whole time there and back and on the objective. And again, you're either a smart guy or you're not. Okay.
Well,
you can't. I know you think that's an entertaining story, but it doesn't do what you think it does.
He's good at being a SEAL. That's what he's good at.
Yeah.
All right, Kyle says, so our best men at the most important 5 seconds of life becomes lion jealous schoolgirls. No effing way.
That's right. Because they don't.
At Six's mom, trying to help Drew out. Appreciate that. Drew, it's Kawai.
All right.
Is it Kawai or KY? I'm going to say Kawai.
Kawai, yeah.
I mean, that AU should be so it's Kawai.
Kawai.
Aloha from Kauai.
Thank you, Six's mom.
Kauai. Dan Patrick Fit says, Rob's deflection, talking over Andy, and useless information to try to overwhelm Andy is how you know he's lying.
That is true. And again, it's why I love Andy. He will do it cool, calm, and collective, but don't take his quietness and his professionalism for weakness. You will not bulldoze Andy on his podcast or anywhere else. You won't outsmart him, and you won't get away from his question.
Very smart dude, no matter what he says about himself.
Right.
Cliff, $20 says Rob's an idiot. Careful, Rob. You never. All right. Or Cliff, if he repeats on the stand under oath the story he told Andy, he gives testimony for DOD to prosecute himself and his teammates. Yep. Total Blue Falcon. Also, don't give benefit doubt to Red Squadron. Read Matthew Cole.
Yeah, when he's talking about the crimes of SEAL Team 6 and Red Squadron, again, that has to do with Red Squadron being savages on the battlefield. And I don't care about them being savages on the battlefield. And not everything they did was right. But guess what? Not everything that goes on in war.
It's war, people.
Is right. And it's definitely easier to look back and say some things. I'm not defending everything they did. I'm just saying that for some of the things. But lying, we can never accept. That's lying and savagery are two different things. In fact, those two worlds collide.
Wake Up by Mad Season, $10.
All right.
All right. Holy Fook back in to help Drew out. I appreciate it. Drew, it's Kawaii, which is different than what Six's mom said. It said it was Kawaii.
Got one for me, Magnet?
So I'm struggling here, guys. I'm really sorry. I'm not from Hawaii, but I really appreciate the help. I need it.
I'll just let you guys know. Tasty Gains just sent me another bag, and I've been on their strawberry creamsicle, but this is sour watermelon, and they are in competition for my favorite. I didn't think they'd beat the creamsicle, and it's not. Good. I don't talk about things that I don't believe in, but let me tell you, I wouldn't if it wasn't for gummies sitting around the house. I wouldn't take creatine, and I'm better for taking creatine. It is a tried and true product. All right, anyway, keep going.
ATX Adventure says, I believe defamation of a public figure requires knowledge that your statements are a lie.
Correct.
Rob admitted he lied. Doesn't that destroy his entire case?
Everything about that podcast just destroyed his entire case.
It jumped on me. I'll get it in just a second.
All right.
There it is. All right. Papa Penguin pontificates, $50. Good to see you, Papa. Former Greenside sailor here. Shout out University of Ramadi. Ramadi, sorry. Yep. 050405. I'm a firm believer in never letting the truth get in the way of a good sea story. But this whole saga needs to be a PR safety brief. My second ex-wife and I get along better. Oh, well played, played.
No rebuttal.
Neil Conway says, it is a shame that Rob, who obviously put in good work, is now going to be known for this instead of a great career. Perhaps JSOC wanted this story. Perhaps Luttrell. If so, can it be revealed?
Yeah, we just revealed it for you. And it will be. And if it goes to court, trust me, it will be revealed. But it doesn't matter. We've already told you. You don't have to wait for court. We just picked it apart with logic and experience. And with his own words against himself. And I hate it when they're like, well, you weren't there. Well, we just showed you a video of another assaulter that was there.
Yeah.
So if you don't like logic and you don't like my experience, take the other guy's word for it who was there.
Yeah.
What
about the guy who said the other guys who were there don't know what they're seeing?
It's never enough for some people. But I get it. Not everyone likes to be bamboozled.
Some people like to protect liars, Brent, because they're conscious about their own lies. How Arms. Rich, what's up, brother? Always bringing the truth. Love it, brothers. Amazing night. Ready to watch the full video tomorrow. Amazing content, as always, and can't wait to get back down again.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Thank you, Mr. Howe.
Justin Carling, thank you very much for the $100. We really appreciate it. Real American by Hulk. Well, not by Hulk, but Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, that's up to almost 200. That one got in the lead. It'd be hard to dethrone that one.
So where are we at on first and second? What are the numbers?
199 for Real American. Wish You Were Here is at 110, tied with Night Stalker 110 at Megadeth.
There you go. Brent Huberty says, crazy how Red name isn't public, but Rob was worried his name would get leaked. So he wrote a book.
Checks out. Makes sense.
All right. Neil Conway back in again. $50. Thank you, man. A salute to other veterans and active duty as well as other first responders.
Max, get over here, buddy.
That's it. That's $50 salute from Neil Conway to veterans, active duty, as well as other first responders. We salute you. Papa Penguin pontificates. There are some interesting Navy Times articles about Rob shortly after this happened. It would be worth the effort to do the research or do the search.
All right.
Navy Times articles. Chris Smith says, send Andy a hot tub as a thank you gift.
I think Andy's had enough hot tub action with me or from me. But he's cold up there. He may appreciate that.
Yeah.
I might send him one.
Some hot. Brody Martin, $50. Thank you so much. Drew, you taking a break from Truth in the Dark podcast? What about weekly Bible study online? I know you're busy, brother. Also, can we get more Brent roast jokes from Devin? Outro song for Send Lawyer, Guns, and Money. Throws $50 onto that.
All right, that's up to 65. It's creeping.
As far as my podcast, I am trying to get the time to do a little something. I am just swamped with responsibilities at FRCC right now, and I'm trying, but it's not working. I'm doing my best. I really want to get back to it. Thanks for asking. Iceman says, Rob needs to file a defamation claim against himself. Unfortunate for him, he got put under the x-ray machine. Okay, I'll see myself out.
Oh, my gosh.
No, that was well played, bro.
That is... It's going to be hard to unseat that comment. Comment of the night.
Yeah, that was good. All right, Holy Fook. I'm not a lawyer, but I stayed at a Holiday Inn last night. What was the reason why Rob got PNG'd?
You should ask Rob that. Someone at some point should ask Rob that. He's so proud that his book got approved by the DOD, but he doesn't like to talk about everything. Someone should ask Rob that.
Justin Carling for Magnet. 8.6 blackout. Built Army strong, not Army smarter. Over 300 blackout. Hold on, buddy. Hold on, wait. All right.
The 8.6 blackout is a 308 round, and it's got more stopping power than the 300 blackout.
There you go.
Stopping power. All right, let's see here. We got Tackworm. Probably needs to explain the piss bottle comments for a lot in the chat, and is it possible to take away his trident for the embarrassment and lying?
It's always possible. But you know what? Gosh. And I can't be too hard on the Navy. The Army hasn't taken Tim Kennedy's Special Forces tab away yet. So if the Army won't take action against Tim Kennedy, I don't expect a lot from the Navy.
I'm sure they just want this to go away, or they just don't care.
And probably need to explain the piss bottle comments for a lot, I think, of us in the chat. So a piss bottle is just an empty water bottle that it was a long flight in. So he kept a empty piss bottle on him. So if he had to go to the bathroom and pee before the mission, he just crawl into the helicopter, piss in the bottle, and then he apparently kept it in his pocket. But that's what a piss bottle is.
Let's see. How Arms says, this $200, man. Thank you very much for helping pay the bills around here, man. I didn't do a song, so $220 for Dusty Bible by Josiah Queen.
Dusty Bible. Might be one of those 2-song nights.
$220 altogether from How Arms. Justin Carling, another $100 for Real American by Hulk Hogan. Man, these guys take these outro songs seriously.
They do.
And we appreciate it.
And it's hard. It's hard to beat. It's hard to beat Real American, especially on a night like tonight.
Oh, man. Yeah. Oh, gosh. No kidding. BD8 says, no bubbles, no troubles.
That's right. No bubbles, no troubles. It's a dive term. I get you. I see what you did there. And I appreciate you.
Bro, I didn't. I was just thinking, I thought it was a hot tub comment.
No.
Because of
no
bubbles, no trouble.
It's a closed circuit rebreather terminology. Nice.
Six's mom, sorry, I'm from here. It's Kauai. It's not like Maui. No E sound at the end. Need to look into the history of the island.
Oh.
I'll have you speaking Hawaiian, Drew. Aloha from Kauai.
We have.
I love it.
We have
Hawaiian battles.
Now we have Hawaiian battles.
I think Six's mom is right. I mean, phonetically, it should be Kai, just like
Kauai.
Well, Y, there's a Y in there, but in Greek,
okay,
it's more like Greek and Latin, just 2 syllables. Okay, Iceman says, yo, Justin Carling, is your job hiring?
Oh, look at that. We got everything in the chats from Hawaiian battles to job placements.
There you go. Corey Doctor says, Brent, did you buy the 4-tube nods on your desk, or did Delta let you leave with them?
They did not let me leave with them. In fact, one of the few things of note that I left with is can you go wide, Drew?
Yo.
Is my kit. It's one. I got a few other things, but that's probably the thing I'm most proud of is that that is my kit that I wore for years, and I took that with me.
That's it. That's the super chats.
We did it. We did it.
Hey guys, at frcc.shop this weekend, we're giving away free t-shirts, the black, green, blue Eagle t-shirts. Buy $30 worth of coffee, that's bags or K-cups, and you will get a free shirt. Put it in the cart.
And last thing I'll say, I'll just say it in a way that won't get us kicked off like the first thing. There's an item in front of me that is pretty cool. And the way it looks in its entirety is how someone's going to win it in our Patreon. And you have to be a Patreon member to win it. And we don't have that many. Like I said, we're not Sean Ryan. You're not competing against hundreds of thousands. So the chance of you winning a very free item that's very close to being in front of me could be yours. Join our Patreon. Everyone has a chance at winning that thing. Let's get to it. The winner, oh gosh, and I'd love to say this, is Real American. And I'm going to actually give you the cover version and not the original song. It's believe it or not, it's even a little better.
How Arm says, I guess to get my song, God always first, $20 more.
Go close that door. Is your Bluetooth on, Magnet? And if it is, I swear to God, you better forget that device.
Which one is it?
Every freaking time. Oh, nope. And I apologize.
What do you want me to
apologize.
close?
When I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
Do you want me to close that door?
Close that door, please. Guys, let me know if you can hear the song. And this is
let us know you can hear the song.
This is the time we go through the regular chats to say thank you guys for everything. You don't just have to want a Mick Ultra so bad. You can just have one. You can just have one. Is it a piss bottle? I hope they're not talking about that. Delta wants to know why you weren't at SHOT Show. It's the first time I missed SHOT Show for a reason. And what's crazy is I was so happy not to go. And then when I didn't go, I was kind of upset that I didn't go to SHOT Show. I will be there next year. All right. Great. I got to rip my shirt off now. Well, I see ya. Thanks for a great show tonight, fellas. Thank you, D-Tank Trades. Trans Kennedy, yo! That guy says yo in every comment that in every video we do, and I always reply to him yo back. And he knows it. Just found the channel. Now I'm hooked. Verita, thank you so much. I really appreciate that, brother. I really, really do. Piss bottle flavored Tasty Gains gummies.
Comes in a yellow bag.
Transcend Kennedy, FRCC piss bottle. We're not doing it. We're not doing it. The piss bottle thing just won't die. This better not be a reoccurring theme in the show now.
T-shirt.
Yeah, but do you sit down or stand up in your piss bottle? Here we go.
There we go. Now we're adding the two.
Oh. Christ is
man.
king. Yes, sir.
You guys should clip the shit out of this live so it reaches more people. I probably will. Piss bottle merch coming. There it is. Oh my gosh. You should sell SEAL Team 6 bottled water. Delta Dad says great stuff. I tell you, this is one of my favorite comments. I love nothing more than making your dad proud. I would hate for another operator to ever look and be like, that guy's an embarrassment. So I do appreciate that. That I do try to do things right. And I do try to do things professional. Rapture is imminent. Yes, it is. Drunk Christian. You can't make it up. Give us a piss bottle story. I don't have any. I piss before missions. Yeah, this interview is hard to watch. Not really. I get what you're saying, but it was for me and for people looking for the truth. It was a gift. It was easy to watch. It was awesome to watch. You know, I have a hard time saying bye sometimes. What was second place?
Howl Arms.
What? Well, you want to give it to Howl Arms?
Yep.
It was Dusty Bible, Josiah Queen, and it's only right to give that to Richard. It's only right. Let me see here, Dusty. Oh, now everyone's getting creatine. Everyone's getting it.
I'm just in it for the sour watermelon.
Use promo code Tier1. You get a discount on that. There you go. Dusty Bibles. Richard. This one's for you, brother. And maybe this one's for me. I haven't heard this song, I don't think. So, and I get to hang out in the comment section just a little longer, and I love that. Although it looks like we're just going to talk about piss bottles. You know what? I did not watch where was it? The Mike Ritland interview just yet, and I still intend on doing that. But I am playing favorites with that because Andy Stumpf is one of my favorite people in the world. Zero Dark Piss took me out. Oh gosh, it's hard to read one that doesn't talk about piss now. Transcend Kennedy, you better join Patreon, and I want the first post from you in Journal Discussion to be, yo. And I know it will be. Brad must feel like a wizard. I feel pretty dumb most of the time, and I do it to myself. It just doesn't stop. Rob and Kennedy act the same when they lie. I'm telling you, after hate to say the word study of sorts, but after studying both, it's uncanny. It's uncanny. The psychology of the two, how they act, how they tell stories.
The distraction of details to buy time.
The way they buddy up to people. The first thing Rob did was like, "Oh, I jumped with you. You don't remember it, but I was your first tandem." Like trying to go ahead and set that precedence of friendship, so he won't be so hard on him.
Yep, win you over.
Yeah. Hopefully one day, Drew and Brent will visit Hawaii. Oh, that would be awesome. Drew, you ever been to Hawaii?
Heck no.
I went when I was 15 on the Vietnam trip for a few days. It was awesome, but it's been so long.
Yeah.
It's been so long.
Well, because of all the ice caps melting, I don't know if it's even barely there.
Brent, are you cutting or is that just a piss bottle? Hands up, there's no piss bottle here yet. Brent, why is your brother so cool? And do you feel inadequate? They like you. They like you, Drew.
It's a good question.
I like you too, Drew. A rucksack full of grenades and piss bottles. Now, now we've connected the two, and I love it. Here's a comment not about piss, which is ironic because I see what you did there. I'm telling you, we have.
These guys are great.
If people didn't know us and they haven't interacted with our comment section and our listeners, when I say we have the best audience, the best listeners, the best followers, it sounds like, he's just saying that. Watch a live, go to our comment section, read these comments, and you will know we have the best audience. And I don't know how we built it, just out of sheer luck. I don't know why you guys are the way you are, and I love it. And I wouldn't change it. God, I wouldn't change it.
One day I hope that we are big enough so that we can have like a Tier 1 podcast conference once a year. Just have everybody come to, wherever and party.
I'm thinking about doing a Patreon meetup.
That'd be cool.
or something like that, and then use some of that Patreon money to. It's like, hey, if you can get here, like lodging and food, it is all on us. Just get here, and let's go hang out and go shoot for a couple days. Let's tell some stories and let's just hang out as a family.
That'd be cool.
And I'm gonna think about that real hard. I don't care if 5 people show up, 10 people show up. I don't care how many people show up. I just think it'd be a cool experience. And and it's not for the Patreon. It's a cool experience for me to get to hang out with you guys.
Yeah.
So, but before we're doing that, Don't worry, it's still worth joining Patreon because there's something in front of me you might get for absolutely free.
Pew, pew, pew.
No, it's not the Mick Ultra. No, it's not the creatine gummies. It's just right in front of that. But if I say it, we'll get...
It's camouflage.
Anyway, guys, thank you so much. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being a part of this community. And remember, we are building a Tier 1 community. Be Tier 1 fathers, be Tier 1 wives, be Tier 1 brothers. I have a Tier 1 brother, so I know how important that is in life. Be Tier 1 friends. I have a Tier 1 friend. I know what that's like. Be a Tier 1 worker. Be a Tier 1 boyfriend. Be a Tier 1 person. Thank you, guys. Good night. See you next Thursday with Jimmy Watson on the live.
Oh, it's going to be fun.
Right there in the seat. He is a character, and it's going to be a good time. See you guys then.